games back in the day would just like ship broken as well, but people would be like, "That's how the game is now," and you just gotta have to go through it because people just go like, "Oh well, you know the old sentiment of old game good, no new game bad." And I'm like, yeah. Do you remember well, no, not Mass. Vampire the Masquerade Redemption? If anyone ever played that one 20 years ago, like the first Vampire the Masquerade game, it was like
was that the one that started off olden days and then went modern day?
Yeah, with like Christoph or whatever his name was. That game shipped broken as shit. So I remember back in the day, and it was like the first boss has something like 15 times the amount of health or something.
I know. He's so hard to get past.
Yeah, like he was insane. So basically, I learned like in very young age, like I don't know, 12 or 13, just like trap him behind a door or something and like glitch him. And then when he was standing there trying to like get out his existential dread, you would just like smack him with, you know, your vampire claws or Bruja claws.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then you had to wait a month otherwise to get the goddamn demo CD from a PC Gamer magazine to like get the patch on it, because like the patch was like 24 megabytes. That would take that would take like the entire night to download or something.
And can you imagine that you missed that magazine? You're fucked.
Yeah,
you're forever going to have a buggy game.
Yeah, that was you know, crazy stuff.
Yeah, I much prefer these days where they just release it broken and then break it more with each subsequent patch. It's much better.
I mean, like, at least you can download them. I mean, like, you had to download those the entire night unless somebody called the house. You know, then you would have to just go there. Don't answer the phone, Mom. I'm getting the vampire game patch.
I've been downloading this patch for 3 days.
Anyway, so that was good. Today we're gonna try a little bit more of a structured rant, maybe.
We've got a lot to talk about this week, haven't we?
Yeah, try.
No, we have the structure that we've said, okay, and I'm gonna try to steer this.
Holy shit!
Okay, well, like, you know, like herding cats, I guess.
You use your military skills.
No, you're not here, so I can just push you around. In that case, it's physically like because you know, they're so low down. I would just like stand up upright and just like push you in the knee, and you would be like, "Oh, what now?"
It'd be like Gulliver's Travels.
Yeah, exactly.
Do the ropes over. We got you. What was the structure? Because I wasn't paying attention. What was it?
The structure is Total War and CA business. Okay.
I think the benefit this week is we actually have stuff to talk about, whereas last week it's like,
yes,
there was a patch and that was about it.
Yeah. Because last time we went a little bit on tangents, so we're gonna try to clear this up, and it's gonna be a rocky few tries.
We heard you two commenters who complained. You have been heard.
Yes,
really?
Yes,
you have been heard. Those guys, fuck off.
Plural. That's crazy. I felt bad it was just one.
That's what, like 75% of the viewer base.
That's yeah, okay, we can't handle that.
So this will be the final episode as well. It's just getting too much.
And then after the CA Total War stuff, we're gonna go over to. Wait, didn't we write this down somewhere?
Holy shit! Did we write it down? That doesn't sound like us.
Well, I did. Okay, then we have game news, and then we're gonna go into tangents. Which now we're gonna go into tangents, but it has its own segments.
It's got a structure.
Yeah. And then we're going to go into what games we played, what we enjoyed, maybe what we didn't enjoy. And and then we end. Okay, now it's your... Okay, Monsters.
Just, can you really structure tangents? Don't tangents just kind of happen? Can you really structure...
Wow. I assumed they would naturally happen around the news. Okay, honestly, right. I just assumed we would just be like, well, Frontier is gonna go into then we're just gonna go into like COVID money and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
All right. Assuming we do follow this structure that you've just so wonderfully laid out, is there CA news?
Well, I think it's like the news are no news.
Oh yes, well, you know, Thrones of Decay. They've got a couple of weeks left to announce it. I'm still holding out.
Yeah, there's still like 2.5 weeks left. They can announce it any day now. But we probably know that it's going to be next year instead. So it's just when next year? Is it going to be January?
It's going to be March.
February, March.
Chaos Dwarves.
Probably March, yeah.
6-month content gap again.
It's just weird that they don't want to like actually just come out and say it. I don't understand. I cannot wrap my brain around how they just don't want to say anything.
It's so weird because it feels like did you guys see the AMA on the forums from like the previous employee? And it was kind of, they didn't say much. It was more like they were reinforcing what we already thought we knew. So to say, and it was one of those things that we probably should think about. That's just because they stop doing something else, the other ones won't get more money because CA gets money from Sega allocated to do specific things. And now that they went in and restructured stuff, it's very, very likely that they're just, gonna fire even more people for Total War as well.
Oh.
Like that's just what I assume at this point.
Yeah. Brief pause, Monsters. Are you drinking a Guinness with your pinky out?
It's not a Guinness. It's actually some kind of Hobgoblin Ruby. But yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Just checking. Yeah. I don't know. The whole CA not saying anything. I may have said this last week. Classic for this podcast. It's probably been said last week. But if they do say something, they'll be like, "You lied to us, you bastards! How dare you lie to us? You told us the DLC had become out the stem." But if they don't say anything, well, they're just going to get shit on anyway. So I suppose this way they're just like, well, at least it won't be as targeted, I guess. But I just you have to find it funny how like when Total War Warhammer 3 was announced, like right, the tempo of DLC is going to be much higher because we've got more people working on it and there's going to be more DLC, higher quality of it. And then there was a 6-month gap between that and Immortal Empires, then a 6-month gap between Chaos Dwarves. And like right now we've got Chaos Dwarves and Immortal Empires is what could be loosely described as functional. Now it's going to speed up. And then Shadows of Change come out, and then got a great reception and another delay. It's just, you have to laugh or you'll cry, really, because it is just so ridiculous how much they managed to keep fucking themselves over by overpromising.
I think they're doing it so wrong because the public will tolerate just about anything except for a liar. That's why everybody just likes Charlie Sheen, right? Back in his Coke days when he's like, "I am powered by tiger blood" or whatever the hell. Like everyone was just accepting him because he was insane, but he wasn't a liar. And now CA are just starting to lie and not say anything about it. Like everything started basically like they got so much goodwill from Warhammer 1 release like back in 2016. So everything worked and we just started getting better and better. And they kept their promises as well, but then they stopped keeping their promises first time I remember since then in like when they shut down Three Kingdoms. Then it was all like downhill from there.
It does feel like that was the start of the bad times. It was that point, and then it just
and then it just went so fast as well.
Yeah, it just feels like ever since Warhammer 3. When did they cancel Three Kingdoms? Was that before? It was before Warhammer 3 came out, wasn't it?
I remember walking home from work when it was happening and it was cold and raining. So I took my phone out.
That really narrows it down because you live in the UK. So that could be literally any time.
It was August, actually. Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
3 years ago.
I think it was.
My God.
So yeah, so it was before Warhammer 3 came out, but it was just before, wasn't it? It was kind of like I think it was around the time of the Torok and Sisters DLC. Was it Oxyotl? Oxyotl and
yeah, that was Torox.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on about Throt.
No, who did the Sisters come out with?
Throt, Young Queen.
That actually has one of my favorite DLC trailers.
That DLC trailer slaps fucking hard. Shadows of Change trailer slaps hard. To be honest, most of the trailers slap hard. It's just a shame that the content doesn't always live up.
I think even the latest like trailers haven't been as cool either. It feels like Warhammer 2 had all the cool stuff where they had like movie references, stuff like that. Like they were kind of good and stuff. like Shadow and the Twilights. Twist and Twilights. I really like because they had the like general 80s, 90s kind of fantasy vibe to them with like the little synth in the background and like a lot of glitter everywhere.
Sick.
Yeah, that was really cool. And they always had like cool stuff and little things like that, like the Mad Max stuff for Grim and Grom. And
remember the Vampire Coast trailer when it dropped to the shanty?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
I think that shanty is like the third most viewed thing on the Total War channel or something crazy.
Oh yeah, probably. It was like that one and another one that was really, really hog, as the kids say. I think still was the Tomb Kings one. That was also really cool. Though.
That was sick.
That was really good.
Yeah,
but now
feels like ever since that last DLC, things have just been going off kilter. I don't know why.
Well,
it's really depressing to see because they have on the Game Awards now. Maybe we should save this one. Like I want to talk about a specific award on the Game Awards. So maybe we should take that one in order and talk about the Game Awards that we actually want to talk about. Sure. I'm gonna tie that back into this conversation later on.
We've definitely all watched the Game Awards, haven't we?
Yes. I watched all 3 hours.
Okay. Well, we're just gonna talk about the prizes, right? And maybe what was announced. We don't have to like do a deep dive cut or breakdown or anything like that.
Okay, good. Because
so pull the video now. We'll watch it all.
Yeah. Because all I've done is I didn't watch it. I read a lot of Twitter tweets about it, and I read the headlines of some articles, and I've kind of cobbled together an opinion entirely based on that, which I think is mostly what people do these days anyway. So
you don't form your own opinion. You see what other people's are, and then base yours off that.
Yeah.
So reviews exist.
Yeah. So that's what I've done basically.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that like what game reviewers try to do a lot of the time? They just like try to like take what the public perception will be of it, and they just try to like hammer that in, or they're just going to be hated. Like the one person who like said before for Starfield or Cyberpunk or anything like that, like, oh, this game sucks, and everybody else like, no, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Then it actually does suck, and everybody's like, wow, well, maybe we don't hate that person.
A lucky guess.
Someone, I remember when Shadows of Change came out, someone like commented on my Chaos Dwarves review, like I can't remember. I'm not like trying to jerk myself off. They'll call me like a prophet or something ridiculous because I said then it's too expensive, and they're just going to make it worse. And then they did.
I kept saying that the Chaos Dwarfs were like ironically the first like shrinkflation we got.
Definitely,
because they're small and like we got to pay more for less. Like 3 lords, 1 faction, no reworks, no heroes, no free lord, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
We got a hero, got a hobgoblin hero, basically the same thing.
Well, you got Ulrika as well, but I just said it wrong. Me English not so good all the time.
Yeah. Fucking hate legendary heroes. They're such a cop out. I get why they exist, because if you had like every single character be a lord and have their own faction, it like you would run out of space fairly quickly. But
I mean, I thought like the heroes were like super cool the first time they happened. Then the second time they happened, they were like, this is cool. You know, you got Croak, you got Ariel, you got then you start getting like the ones that aren't that cool, like the Norscan Ratman. Who? What is his name?
Gorich.
Gorich.
Oh yeah, Gorich. Yeah. And then you were like,
yeah,
gotta live without this one, and you get like other stuff, and then you got like the latest one. Well, Ulrika. I love the Ulrika books, by the way. I like they're if you want to read like really weird Warhammer fantasy, just lore, like you know. But like these weirdest, shittiest examples of how shitty it is to be a vampire if you're not like a nobility. Like read those books. But like that hero, I just went like, well, maybe it's too much now. And then you got like the A-Call, and you're like, yeah, it's too much now.
I've got a tangent based on books. We're going to come back to this, but it's a tangent, so I'm going to put it in the correct section.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe that structure isn't going to hold, because I really want to go back to the like Game Awards thing as well. Let's take the book thing.
Oh God.
Okay, well, if you want to read the weirdest fucking book, right? read the Conrad series, and it's not the Vampire Conrad. It's like one of the first Black Library books they ever did, and it's this is spoiler, so fuck it, but you'll probably never read it anyway. So this book is based. It's just fuck it. It's off the wall. It's so bizarre. It's about this guy who grows up as an orphan in an imperial village. He like gets with this young girl, and then his village gets burned down. This girl gets kidnapped, and then the rest of the 3 books are him basically sort of like his adventures, and eventually, you know, finding some like bits. You know, it's like, oh, she's still alive and she's here, and you know, he meets this guy called Wolf.
The gladiator. Continue.
No, not that. Well, maybe, but he basically it's like described as he looks quite wolfy, right? And the last 5 pages of the 3rd book, you finally find out that he is a fucking werewolf seconds before he dies. But that's by the by. That's by the by. The 2nd book, Conrad fucks a chaos demon to death, which is an interesting twist, and it feels the best thing about this series is it gets basically to the last chapter of the 3rd book, where this whole sort of the whole thing has turned out to be some sort of weird scheme to replace the emperor, and then they stop that, and then the author suddenly realizes that he's only got like, I don't know, 10 pages to finish the rest of the book, so he kind of like just like does this thing where it kind of ends but really weirdly. And I love the series for the fact it's fucking insane. It's, if you've never read it, read it.
I feel the same about the Ulrika books. They're just crazy, and you can definitely tell that True Blood was very popular when those were written.
Circling back to Total War. I think a lot of people talk about the power creep, and like every DLC is more overpowered than the last, which, you know, Shadows of Change, that changeling fella, he's pretty OP. But I feel like the heroes kind of went the opposite way. Like Croak was like, Croak is so cracked, and it's fine. I'm completely there for it. Ariel, pretty top tier. Like you said, Gorich, like he's good. He's fine.
He's all right.
He's not great.
Everybody complained about Ariel when she got released because she was not as you know, goated as Croak was. But Croak is like the best. With the sauce. He's so good. Yeah. He's like the best mage in the world as well. He's not the best alive, but he's the best one.
He basically drops a Doom Rocket that does no damage to your own troops. It's insane. He's so OP.
It's nerfed now quite a bit though in Warhammer 3, but still very good.
Lame.
Yeah.
But then you get to, I think the Blue Scribes, they're good in theory, but in practice, if you get like all their spells, just like most of the time, you're trying to get a crap, like a hand of crap spells that you then have to use.
Yeah.
I disagree, honestly. Like they're really goddamn good because they get every single passive from every single tree as well when you actually level them up, and they get like everything cheaper as well. So you can literally just spam spells constantly, and it's just like they do so much damage, so much fun to use as well because they just random shitty spell every single time. Like the passives and they're being so much cheaper is. They're crazy good. Crazy good.
There is that, what's his name?
Sorry.
Hellbrass guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine.
I've never got him. I've played 2 different Zinch campaigns and I just haven't picked him up.
Oh, don't get me wrong, if you're just talking Zinch, he's like the best melee hero that they have, but that's because there's not competition.
He's the only one they have? Yeah.
So it's fine. He fills a slot in that roster. It's just a not very exciting slot, and he fills it very acceptably.
He's very cool he's actually in one of the Rika books as well, where he talks about how life magic is. This is like a little bit of Warhammer lore about like life magic and chaos and stuff like this. Because he rants about how life magic is the absolute opposite, and when chaos is the actually opposite of necromancy and vampires and things like this. So, because it's so weird because this is like an end times book as well. So he talks about how the Chaos Gods want like more and more souls and more like stuff happening, and like more people all the time. But they will win, so they'll end everything anyway. And it's like, what are you even fighting for then? Like it gets really weird, but he's essentially the absolute anathema for anything undead. Like if he touches a vampire, they come alive again, and the like curse is broken from them, so they just die.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool when he actually goes on the rants and like just touches vampires and undead and they just die.
And then in game he's like, oh, I have a sword and I can throw it. Wee.
I mean, he's pretty good in the game as well. It's just really lame because he's like at the point where you get him, you need somebody on a horse or something like that, and they could at least like in the lore he can fly on his sword. So like
that'd have been sick.
Like skates on it, so she should have that as a mount, I think.
Oh my god, that would be so rad.
Like
he just throws it down.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's the most 90s thing ever.
Moves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking patch that, CA. Fuck the DLC. I don't want that. Well, this guy kick flipping off enemies' heads.
Old brass pro skateboarder.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so if he had like that, so he could at least travel faster, that would be a different story. But now he's like so slow once you actually get him. Like early on, he would be really cool, but right now he just has to plod his way forward, and then he can just stand there and like kill stuff forever. But yeah, he's weird.
Yeah, footlords like that can't get mounts just seem to fall off so fast. Because like even if they are really good, it's like, well, by the time they get there, most of my other stuff has probably already done its thing. So he's not really, he's just not getting enough value.
Because he's in the Warriors of Chaos as well, and they're not exactly like hankering. They don't exactly need help with anything. So at the time you get him there, you're already like mulching everything. Like a unit of Chosen will still like murder everything anyway.
It seems quite bizarre that they made the Changeling so ridiculously overpowered, but lore accurate. And then for Echo, they were like, we kind of nerf you into the ground a little bit, and rather than give you all your excellent lore stuff that Fred just talked about, like kick flipping, you're just a guy with a sword that can throw it and has regen, I think. And then he has his spiral
he has
sword,
regrowth, and he got regrowth as well, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's quite nice for like Chaos Warriors who obviously have a lot of health, but yeah.
I don't know. They need to do heroes the same way they do. Like they need to affect this quite a lot. Like either you have a slow nuking machine like Croak. Ariel is also a nuking machine. She is really, really good. She's not Croak level, but she's insane as well. And then you have Gorge, doesn't matter. Akol doesn't matter. The Hobgoblin one though, he changes the way you play, which is really cool.
Which I like.
Yeah, because you're actually going to have like an army of only Hobgoblins once you have him, and that just helps a lot, like a tremendous amount.
Yeah, I don't know. I never like bothered using him. By the time I'd got him, I was like, oh, well, I'm kind of starting to recruit proper Chaos Dwarves anyway, so I'll just use those, and then once I have those, he's useless, because he's like not really that good a fighter himself, if you ask me.
I mean, I always have. He's not that great at fighting and stuff like that. He's okay, but the thing is that you you get besieged from so many sides that it's just so much easier to just have one army that is like dirt cheap that you just like have with him in that'll just actually like manage to kill almost anything, and he managed to murder just about anything except for really high level armies with just Hobgoblins that cost nothing.
I don't know why they didn't make him a general rather than a hero.
That's an excellent point.
Like, make him a general and have his effect like he reduces the upkeep of Hobgoblins by 60% and increases Chaos Dwarf upkeep by 50% or something, so that it sort of pushes you towards having this Hobgoblin army, and then let him buff Hobgoblins to something stupid.
The thing, the thing, whenever you get like the plus upkeep or something, you just stop using them. It's like Morgar, he's great, but he only buffed Chaos Spawn for the longest time, and Minotaurs cost more, and Chaos Spawn are just worse. Chaos Spawn, and I will die on that hill. If anyone in the comment section want to fight,
they have no armor piercing. They're dog ass.
I mean, Minotaurs is the best monsters infantry in the game.
Definitely.
They will murder just about anything. Like, even if it's a unit of Halberdiers or something like that, they will most likely just murder it thanks to really good animations.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, Monster. Like, it would be nicer, especially for like a lot of factions that already have legendary heroes. It's like, well, I'm not going to get Harry the Hammer and Echoed and the Blue Scribes and this and that. It'd be nice to have some of them as like a legendary lord, but doesn't have a faction that you can just recruit. That would be a lot more fun than having them just be heroes, because I'd be like, oh, well, even if I'm not going to use like your specific effects, I'll still have you lead an army so that I can look at you on the campaign map and like pat your head.
Yeah, I think heroes should have like seriously army changing effects. I think that would be more interesting if the Blue Scribes like buffed certain units a certain way, and he went, okay, it's kind of like the
horror army.
Yeah, it's like the Dark Elves have that name system where you can get some really nice ones that reduce the upkeep of shades and give them extra range, and then you're like, okay, well this is a shade army, obviously.
Have you guys seen the Tarif meme video of the naming system?
No.
It's like shout out to Tarif, he's so good at memes. It's like that Wheel of Fortune thing. It's like, when Druki are born, they are all inspected for imperfection, as if it's the star of 300. And then it's like, name of power, and it's like, and you start spinning, and it just like lands on something that's like leadership aura, and he just like yeets them into the abyss. He just keeps on doing it.
Stance, you're like, no, fuck off, get out of here.
Yeah. Leadership aura, I still don't know what, like, combined, I probably have like 20,000 hours streams, like active gameplay of those games. And I'm like, leadership aura is shit. If you're losing that much that you need to go close just so your units aren't losing, like, you're just straight up not playing it well enough. Just do a better strategy and you just don't even need to use it.
The only time it's useful is for demon and undead armies.
Yeah, but those have completely different problems. Yeah. It's like, you play Scarband, he's getting a little bit sad. He has like 20% health left. You take him out of combat. He's crumbling away behind the enemy, like on the other side of the wall. Nothing is hurting him. And you don't even know what's happening. You're like, come on, Scarband.
Be nice to him.
There's reasons to live still, Scarband. There's other stuff you can murder. You can maybe get him into combat and you get like a little bit of leadership bonus if he starts fighting stuff again. But maybe not because he's already unstable. So he'll just die. And it's the same with goddamn vampire heroes and shit like that as well. They'll just like sometimes just be sad and die.
Yeah. So it boggles my mind because I've had this conversation with a dev where I've said, you do realize that demonic is bad, right? Demonic is not a good thing. It's not a benefit.
It's cool, but it's not good.
It's not cool. It's bad. It's just bad. It's what it means is your unit will disintegrate if it gets sad.
Yeah.
And then you have to re-recruit it.
I think I was in this conversation. I think we ganged up on that, dev. I remember this now.
But you could say, well, maybe it's supposed to be a bad thing. And then I'm like, then why the fuck do all of the god-specific Chaos Warrior legendary lords, their last skill tree effect is to become demonic, which is worse than not being demonic. It's a wasted skill point. Yeah. You basically spec into the ability to die of sadness. A good thing.
It's one of those multiplayer things, I actually believe. Like, I'm not gonna shit on multiplayer because I know, like, everybody.
I will.
No, but like everybody in the community is always just like, oh, it's the multiplayer balancing fault and stuff like that. But the multiplayer people are like, it's like that meme where they're holding somebody over the pool. You know, CA is just holding like hyenas up, and then like Warhammer support is there like almost swimming, and then like in a launcher in the bottom of the pool is like multiplayer. It's like sitting there, just like, oh yeah, did you see this exploit we can do? You can turn the Dreadsaurus and it'll shoot faster. You know.
Really? Can you?
Yeah. So it has like different, like the blow darts have different cooldowns on the sides.
Oh my.
So if you angle him all the time, he like shoots faster.
Basically a ship of the line.
Yeah,
so
he is.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's so stupid. It's like makes sense.
I mean, yeah, but it's just so dumb that is an exploitable thing where you can get your Saurus to stick it onto Spaghetti Walk to do more damage.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're shit anyway. So it's one of those rule of cool units, right? Ones where you're like, I'm gonna have it because it's cool enough and it does enough damage. Is it one of the better things you can do? No, it definitely isn't.
Why would you go for that one when you can go for Engine of the Gods?
Yeah, Engine of the Gods is so good. Because that does the James Bond laser as well. I make the same joke every single time I do it. Because everybody's always just like, oh, well, it's just shitty lizard men and their primitive technique. And, all their primitive technology and just clubs and stuff. And then he has like a little skink sitting there on the back of Stegadon like, clip. And then he just sends a signal up to like a lizard satellite and just beams them over. It's so funny.
Yeah, the ion cannon is pretty impressive.
It's so out of place. I adore it.
I love it because they are using alien tech. Nobody ever like talks about that almost.
Yeah,
like Gorok literally has like an alien shotgun glove and like a laser spear.
Aren't they like one of the most technologically advanced factions, but they just don't really use it that much in their roster, at least that we can see yet?
I mean, they do use it in the roster. It's just not in the way maybe you can see it. Yeah, but they're just made to be like that, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they lost a lot of stuff. It's like the same thing where a Dread Saurian will basically, like when they find one, they will basically revere it as a god, right? Like this giant goddamn monster. And then they'll just go like, that thing is holy. We're going to have a reservation here. It's going to be good. We're going to feed it. And then we're going to strap on every single magical artifact we can find. And it's like smart watches. It's like shield generators. It's like, a turkey thermometer and like laser beams and shit like that. Like just anything they can find. So most of it goes there, I would assume. But like lore-wise, when that thing goes out into combat, it's almost invulnerable. Which you can see in the game because it has like 15% missile resistance.
That's fair.
Nothing that peasant bowmen can't chip away at.
Yeah.
No, that is also true. In spite of their terrible armor pierce, I've never really understood how like goblin archers can be really fucking effective against.
It's just en masse. It's like if it's especially versus like single entities, they are so like you can take out giants of like 4 units of peasant bowmen. And it might get close, but it'll probably die on the way. Because it's just like so many missiles doing this much damage adds up to this much damage.
People don't think about it because people mostly read the unit cards, like if it's armor piercing or not, but everything has armor piercing. Just a little small amounts. The only thing that didn't have it were like the Slaneshi units that were with the whips.
The Hell Scourges.
Yeah, the Hell Scourges, yeah.
But they got sick defense, they don't need damage, it's all good.
I think they got a little bit arm piercing because, it was discovered that they were like incredibly bad.
This is what makes me worry that CA just don't really understand their own game.
Yes.
Things like the demonic being bad and unbreakable being bad for the player. Because the player never wants to have to re-recruit more units.
Yeah.
It's only good for the AI.
Yeah, there's a lot of anti-fun mechanics, weirdly enough.
But my concern is they don't think they're anti-fun. They think they're like, oh, Unbreakable's good because it means your unit won't break. Yeah. The answer, no, it's bad. It's just bad. For the player, it's bad because if a unit runs away, it will survive and you can replenish. That's fine. That's why replenishment is so strong. But if it just dies, well, then you've got to at least stop for one turn, assuming that you can actually recruit in the area that you're in, or global recruit, which takes twice the time, in which case you're now sat doing nothing for 2 turns. Maybe more.
I think it's not as bad for the undead in defense of my boys, because like the benefit of being undead is that you can then be hit by like all the Lord of the Vampires, you can get resurrected, and then post battle you can get the dead rise again thing, or you can get raised dead if you've had a big battle and all this and all that. But for demons, it's just like it makes sense lore wise, and it is cool lore wise that they are different and they have the different leadership mechanic. But because there's no quick way to instantly recruit them back or instantly get them back like the vampire counts have, it is much more devastating. I've never been bothered by losing the units the vampire counts, because most of their units are shit anyway. And if you had a big battle and lost loads of stuff, you just come back in like 2 turns and get most of it back. But for demons, it is it's big stinky for sure.
What it's like, Carl Franz, his last in his personal skill line is Unbreakable and Weapon Strength. And it makes sense for multiplayer because then you want a lord to be there fighting like to the last ounce and just try to do whatever he can. But for single player, he just gets stuck in the battle. If he's losing, he can't go away because if he would like break, then the battle would just be over. He would survive. And it's one of those like multiplayer balancing things, I guess.
Yeah, which is why multiplayer is bad. And people who play multiplayer should feel bad for playing it.
So if you couple that with just if they are unbreakable, but if they get sad, they die, then that is incredibly bad.
Yeah, you're doing it getting the worst of both worlds, where they won't run away, and if they're losing, they'll just die anyway.
Yeah, they'll die faster. They will never make it to the map line ever.
Had it, like, several times when I've had a unit that's like, it's not like super dead, but it's dead enough that it's disintegrating. And I've got, all right, you just stay over there, have a sit down, cup of tea. You're gonna be okay. Okay, just chill out. And then we're winning the battle. I'm like getting them down to the last thing. Army losses is about to trigger, and then they just like disappear and disintegrate. I'm like, they were winning. all you have to do is sit there and do nothing. It is very frustrating, but I don't know. It comes to that argument of should you balance the game for like what makes sense balance-wise or what is fun and a bit lore accurate. And I think that's just one of those things that they've gone for more lore accurate thing, and the fun part hasn't landed, and so it just feels bad and is bad.
It's definitely not lore accurate. I don't know, man. It's a weird balancing act for sure. They just need to like rethink how they do it, because they're trying to do the StarCraft thing, right? Where they balance from the like very, very top, and that should just trickle down so everybody plays like that. But it works in StarCraft because, you know, at the height of it, there were like so many players for it. But now they're trying to do the same for like, I don't even know, what did they have, like 1,500 active players, something like that, like in general for multiplayer, which is, I don't know, man. It's just not enough of a sample size, really. Like,
no. Anyway, Game Awards. I feel like I've exhausted the warm things just then.
No, they haven't said anything new in months, so there's no point worrying too much about it.
Yeah, so in conclusion, there is no news. And the Game Awards.
The no news is probably the news in itself.
It definitely is. So what
Game Awards, what happened? What was the award for the games?
Game of the year. What it was such a
mystery. No, Game of the Year is the last thing. All right, so let's go for the winners here, okay?
I'm not going through them all.
Should we just is it best to just lump Baldur's Gate 3 into everything they won and then just mention everyone else?
Probably.
I mean, we could do that as well.
I'm just thinking, because didn't they win a lot of awards?
They won like 6 out of 9.
Jesus.
Spider-Man 2 got nominated for 7, 1, 0, and people are seething so hard on Twitter. And it's not, I've been playing it, it's not a bad game. I do like it. I have some problems with it. And Monsters, I very much want you to say la-dee-da. It has ludonarrative dissonance.
La-dee-da.
Exactly. Because like,
I'm not even sure what that is.
Sorry, side tangent of Spider-Man. Fred, you've played it. You know when you get the black suit on and Peter's like, oh, nobody helps me. I should do everything myself. And then I went and did a side quest and he was like, oh, I can ride an electric bike. Whee! It's like, well...
Oh, yeah.
I know it'd be a lot of work to have them record 2 sets of lines for if he's in the black suit or not. But I don't know, it just...
They already have 2 sets of lines for everything, if you're swinging or not.
Well, yeah.
So that's kind of cool. But I don't know. What did you think of it otherwise, except for the...
I'm not finished with it yet. I think I'm coming towards the end of the main story, but I'm definitely enjoying it. I'll probably platinum it, or whatever they call it on PlayStation. It's a lot of fun. It's just kind of like the first one, but a bit more and a bit different.
Yeah, I kind of felt like it was a really good game, but the first one just made more of a splash, and this one, like Spider-Man 2 definitely does not deserve Game of the Year. It's a tough year as well, but it wasn't that good. Even like in I don't know, man. I don't think it would have been winning in almost any year.
Yeah, I don't think it beats Spider-Man 1, like you said, in terms of the impact it made. If I was to rate it's like kind of God of War Ragnarok and God of War 20, whatever it was. Like, I like God of War Ragnarok, and the systems are better, the combat's better. It is a better game, but I like God of War better, and it deserved the Game of the Year, which it did get. Anyway. Spider-Man tangent over. Game Awards. Yeah, Baldur's Gate.
Right.
Quite the sweep.
Good, they deserve it. It's a fucking great game.
It is.
Yeah, it is good.
I tweeted this, and like the only thing that I don't like about Baldur's Gate is it made it so incredibly obvious that almost everything they got nominated for, they were going to win. It like took all of the guessing out of it, because it's like, well, nothing really comes close. It's a masterpiece of, well, not a masterpiece, but it's like a masterclass of how to make a video game.
Isn't that kind of a damning indictment of the game industry in general, in that people have said, oh, this is a great year for games, and yet
Baldur's Gate's just that good.
Baldur's Gate 3 comes out and just fucking annihilates all of the competition.
I mean, we had a lot of really bad games as well. We had like the King Kong game, we had Gollum, we had Redfall, and, you know, several other games that just didn't do that well. Now we also had like the Days Past or whatever it was called. I can't remember.
Days Gone. The scam game.
Not Days Gone. Days Gone is like the good zombie game.
Oh wait, yeah. What is it called? The End of Days? Also, my friend told me that citation needed, but apparently that studio is like just shut down. Days Gone, you were right.
No.
I was right. One of us was right. So the game studio, it was a scam game. It's absolute horseshit.
Days Past?
Days Gone. No, why is it gone? Is Days
What do you
Past?
keep saying Days Gone? Days Gone is a good zombie game with a motorcycle.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Days Gone, good game. Where is it? What is it called?
Maybe it's gone now.
Has it been delisted from Steam? Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We're probably just goddamn incompetent and can't find it.
We are on the cutting edge.
The Day Before is what it's called.
I was going to say, Steam is so full of shit, I can't imagine them taking a game down.
The Day Before, 19% recommended.
Nice.
Out of 18,000 votes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I can't believe Resident Evil 4 was nominated for Game of the Year as a remake.
Like, Tears of the Kingdom also could have won, because like people are really liking Zelda, and it's a Zelda game.
Yeah, the nominees.
I thought it was. I thought that game was good. I stopped at like 30 hours or something. I was like, I've got a Tears of the Kingdom now to myself, and just stopped it. Same with Breath of the Wild. I played Breath of the Wild though, like 150 hours. Then I was like, I've got a Breath of the Wild out, so it stopped just before the last boss, and it's like, good like that. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think those games are like, you have to really want to do the side bits, and I'm going to come to this in the what we've been playing, Woven Like a Quilt. But yeah, definitely, those are definitely the sorts of games where you have to like not like make your own fun, but find your own fun. You have to enjoy the act of wandering around aimlessly to find something to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other nominees: Alan Wake 2, which I desperately want to play because it looks rad; Spider-Man 2, Mario Bros. Wonder, Tears of the Kingdom, and Resident Evil 4, which it's a good game, but it's a remake. I feel like that's kind of cheating.
Yeah, because that game was really good then, but they made it better.
I've got to. I played the only other way that I've played Resident Evil 4 is I played the VR version on Quest, and I've got to the same point that I got to on the Quest when I was like, I'm a bit sick of this now. It's when you get to the third act on the island, the guy with the masks, the gas masks, and I was just like,
Wait, which game were we talking about now?
Resident Evil.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when you get to the asylum, whatever it is, the third place, I just get like, I'm kind of sick of shooting people in the face and kicking them. Boss? Who do you beat? I think it's just... I can't remember.
Okay, it doesn't matter. I really like Resident Evil 4 personally. I thought it was like good fun. They had like Resident Evil 4 and Dead Space, and it's just like action and, you know, stomping stuff. It was cool.
Yeah.
Use knife. Good memes in it.
I have never played a Resident Evil game.
The remakes are all really good. Highly recommend. Well, 3's not amazing. 2 is fabulous, and 4 is great.
I mean, I love the memes. I love the big tall lady. She's fun. But otherwise, I'm just like, it's fine. Zombies, that's good. And then they did other things as well, and I was like, I don't really understand it now. I knew where I stood with zombies, but now they're doing all kinds of weird shit. It's fine. Nice.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on. Like I played Resident Evil 1 on the Steam Deck. I just absolutely soldiered through because there is a remake, but it's just the original game. It just looks better. It's still like one of those janky ass games where it's just like you have to listen to every word of dialogue to find out where you are supposed to be going. Otherwise, just wander around a mansion for 10 hours. Yeah. And I did that. Played the remake of 2.
This was the style at the time.
Played the remake of 3. I've played 4. No idea what's going on.
I remember in Morrowind when I got it, because one of the like anti-piracy things that you got back in those days with that and GTA 2 was like you got a map, because otherwise you wouldn't know where to go, and everything and every single quest was like a pirate's treasure thing. It's like, well, you go off you turn right of the road to go out of the village, and then you keep on going west up until you find the mountains, and there you will find like Sugar Pete, and he will meet you by moonlight via a boat or something. And then you just had to do that, or you wouldn't be able to find your way. No quest markers, no nothing.
But that is so linking into what I've been playing. But I'm holding my tongue. We got to abide the structure.
Don't let the structure contain you, man.
Structure will contain everyone. It's fine.
No.
Anyway, I think my game. What's everyone's game of the year? Like, irregardless of the nominations. Come on, Rogue Trader, man. Come on, Lamplighters League.
Well, obviously it's Lamplighters. No, you know what? Until the other week, I would have said it's Xenonauts 2. Easily. However, Rogue Trader came out and is now vying for my heart. But I think both games are really good. I think both Xenonauts 2 is great because it's like old XCOM, which I fucking love. Because there's nothing better. There's nothing more XCOM than having your best guy get twatted from across the map by a shot, which just instantly kills him. And going, what the fuck? That is the best thing about old XCOM. And then Rogue Trader is just great because I badgered an Imperial soldier to give me information and then kicked the shit out of him for giving away information, which I just love. So
you can be a truly horrible person in that one.
That's what I'm doing, and it's great. I'm a complete arsehole, and that's just a lot of fun. It's very 40k, which is really good. So both of those.
What about you, Fred? RoboCop?
I've been playing a ton of Rogue Trader as well. It's a good game, but man, I bought the Baldur's Gate 2 Collector's Edition back in the day. I bought a Baldur's Gate 3 one now as well. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 all the way. It's just so well made. They had like 250 different actors doing mocap for everything. It's just fun. I really love seeing other people also really liking what I used to like and get more people into being able to connect with people, I guess, with that joys of Baldur's Gate 3 all the way.
I would have to say Dredge. I've played it twice in 1 year. It's just so... I fucking love that game. It's so good. It's perfect.
It is really good, isn't it?
It's such
a masterpiece. I haven't played the DLC yet. Is the DLC good?
It's good. It's like the main game, a bit short, really. I think I probably completed everything in probably about 2, maybe 3 hours tops. But I enjoyed every moment of it, and I just love it. Just going around, getting some fish, being scared. What do you need?
It also got a crossover with Dave the Diver.
It did.
Oh, really?
Although it is for Dave the Diver, I wish. But I was talking to my friend, how would it work if it was like a crossover of Dave the Diver just turns up in Dredge? You just go fishing, then you just pull up a man, oh! But
you could do that.
He's like, I'll make this into sushi.
But
yeah, you could fish up a really mutated
Dave.
Dave the Diver, yeah.
Yeah, well, and Dave the Diver instead, you go and try to fish and get these eldritch horrors to sell at your sushi place.
That's what the crossover is. But yeah, I think the thing that pushed Dredge over the edge was I played it once and I'd completed it without. I don't want to spoil it because it's an amazing twist. But I played it without questioning anything that I was told to do. I just did it all, and I got one, and I was like, "Oh, that's it." Thinking, "Oh, it's an indie game. It's not going to be multiple endings. How preposterous!" And then the next time I played it, I was like, "Right, I'm going to talk to everyone, do everything here." And I got the twist, and when the twist happened, my jaw literally just dropped. I was sat at my computer, just staring at my screen, just man, what amazing! I just didn't see it coming out. Well, I kind of saw it coming, but still, fabulous. Definitely play that game.
It's such a. In some ways, it's nice to have a game that's a little bit shorter. Mm-hmm. Because if you have a nice crafted experience that just is really polished and really fun. It's better than I'm loving Rogue Trader, but I want to say 15 hours in, and I think I've just got into Act 2. And I'm like, I don't have the fucking time to play this game. I'm going to make it, but I do not have the time to play it. Whereas Dredge, you play through that, and I know there's the multiple endings, but you could play through that and finish it in 4 or 5 hours, maybe.
Well, let me just check my Steam because I've played it the entire story twice. Fair enough, I haven't got every fish. I have 16 hours, and I've played the whole thing twice. So probably about 14 hours for the main story, so 7 hours each.
Yeah, which is, fine. You know, that feels pretty good.
Yeah, I've watched. Oh, I feel really bad. I can't remember his name. A guy made a really good video about finishing his trying to finish his backlog. I don't know if you saw it. It kind of blew up the other week, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a list, and I've been going on how long to beat. And writing down games, and it's sometimes I just want to play something that's 5 hours long or 7 hours long, and sometimes I want to play Baldur's Gate where the minimum requirement is 56 hours. Bullshit. 56 hours if you just do nothing and just blaze to the end. But, sometimes you just want a little 8-hour adventure. I don't want to commit to like something for the next 3 months.
It's like 56 hours if you know what to do. Yeah. If you know exactly where you need to go to do. If you have no idea what you're doing, even if you only concentrate on the main, you're going to take at least twice as long, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Easily. Short
games definitely have a very important place. I don't think they should stop being made. I don't mind that it's become more of an indie thing because you end up getting like projects that have just like every like moment is chock full of someone's passion of something that they desperately want to make, and it's just so full of love, and you can really feel that.
I mean, that's the thing about Baldur's Gate 3, though, isn't it? That you can feel that and you can see like the different things everywhere and stuff like that. There's no procedurally generated stuff or anything like that, Like it's just nice.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate is obviously the exception to big games.
But like I guess that's like the direction some games want to go. Some want to be a little bit shorter and some want to be a little bit longer because a lot of gamers have had that metric, like dollars per minute or hour and stuff like that. But once again, it's just all about direction. Like which game had the best direction? Because the nominees in this one was actually Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
From what I've seen of Alan Wake, it definitely deserves, because that game is like art.
Yeah, I guess like a lot of Remedy games have always been arts ever since. Even trashy art is art, like the old Max Payne games from them as well, with the noir talking and stuff. I haven't played the Alan Wake 2, but it definitely feels like they're just going for the arts, basically.
Yeah,
as having an experience, and they won.
Absolutely, completely fair.
Makes sense.
I know Fred's desperately trying to get us to go through these things, but one more thing on short games. I think it also depends where you are in life. Like, because, Monsters, you have children, you do this, you have a job, you actually contribute to society, I think, allegedly.
Very minorly, but yes.
And it's like, how much time do you actually have to play games per day, in between that and sleeping and eating and...
Fuck all.
Exactly. Like, Fred... You stream, so you get to play stuff.
Yeah, but it's not the same as playing stuff off stream, though. It's really nice just being able to play stuff and not like people think that streaming is like put on a web camera and
it definitely
just and just play the game. It's not that. So just I actually play games to relax after doing a hard 9-hour shift in the meme mines. I just put on a game afterwards. It's not a hard job. I'm very privileged, but still.
You know what? I've got to go up to London from Cornwall, which, if anyone doesn't know, that's a long fucking drive. It's about 5 hours. It's not that long. But I'm quite excited because my wife prefers to drive, which means I've got my Steam Deck. I'm like, that's 5 hours of pure gaming time, baby. I'm so excited for the fact that I'll just be sat in a car being able to play video games. It's great.
And then the child is sick in the back, and you're like, ah.
He'll have his tablet. He can watch Blippi. It's fine.
Then, as soon as you pull off from the driveway, it's like, so honey, she wants to talk instead.
Nope. Plug in the headphones. Get some like blind speed glasses.
Look her straight in the eyes. Put on headphones.
It's dominance. So good.
My dad does a lot of like travel, or used to do a lot of traveling for work on planes and stuff. And like when we go on holiday, my mum always sits next to the random person because there was 4 of us. She's sitting next to a random person because she can talk to people. She's a big old extrovert. My dad, oh no, he says he sits down, and then this lady started talking to him, and he just went, and then just like didn't look at all, just stared straight ahead to the screen. Absolutely could not do that. I would shrivel up and die inside myself.
That's totally me. That's totally what I do as well. I'm old enough where I'm just like, I can't be bothered with this bullshit. I'm going to be dead soon. I don't want to spend what limited time I have on this earth left talking to fucking you.
Wife, when I'm driving. Sorry, Monster's wife. Sorry.
Sorry. She won't watch this. It's fine.
That's fine.
She's safe.
Best narrative
is Baldur's Gate 3, right?
No, Alan Wake apparently.
Yeah, Alan Wake 2. It's the art and the story. So it's an arty game. You have to win awards, I guess. It's just how it is. Some people like that, some people don't.
So there's that, Baldur's Gate, Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty specifically, Final Fantasy, and then Spider-Man 2, which I think that's a bit generous to put it in the same category as Baldur's Gate. But
yeah, I think some of the storylines in Baldur's Gate 3 is like really well written and really well acted as well. Not even just for a video game. Like some of those things are just great, and like literally just made me sad in my chair. I'm like, wow, it's freaking horrible. Like, you know, really feel stuff. It's like, wow, that's just great acting, man.
Yeah, there's I don't mind Spider-Man 2's plot, but I was talking to my friend about it, and I can't possibly talk about this without like super heavy spoilers, so I just won't. But there's like certain things that happen. I was talking to him about it, and it was like, oh, in the comics, the thing that I'm saying would be cooler is the thing that happens, and they don't do that in the game. So I was like, well, why? It's the cool thing. It's lore accurate. Why don't they do it? But
yeah, there's a lot of comic book versions though. I'm a like big old Spider-Man nerd. From I read those books so much when I was a kid, so I'll just sit around like, oh yes, and this is like a reference to Ben Reilly and Kane and stuff like that. Yes, Kane was also like just a larger bodybuilding Spider-Man, but he was a degenerate because he was falling apart.
Yeah, if you remember at the end, I'll tell you what exactly I was. After we finished, I'll tell you what it was. But yeah, it's fine, but could have been better. Keep going. Art direction. Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, and it's competed against Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Lies of P is just, you know, we have Bloodborne at home. It's cleaner Bloodborne, I felt. I don't know exactly how you like judge art direction on Super Mario and Zelda because they look like the predecessors, right? Yeah. Hi-Fi Rush, though, had a pretty cool like comic book vibe to it. It was really good. I liked that game. Came out of nowhere, was decently priced, like $30 or something, and was just a generally really good game.
That's no one that's on my backlog. Let me check how long that one is for you monsters. Ooh, 11 hours, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's a rhythm action game. So you have to have rhythm as well.
I genuinely didn't know what Super Mario Wonder was, and then I realized I did see the an advert for it. That's the only time I've ever seen it.
You wonder.
Yeah, it looks like a Super Mario game, but he becomes an elephant.
Yeah,
it's probably very good. I hear very good things about it. I haven't played it myself though.
Yeah,
I think the only place I've seen that was when me and my wife on a date night, and we went to watch the latest. There was the Halloween Poirot movie. We went to watch that, and I saw an advert for Super Mario Wonder before that film, and that was the only time I've ever seen it.
Yeah, I don't really like platforms that much. Like Super Mario. I like Mario Odyssey, but I don't know the 2D ones. I feel like I don't know, too much of a zoomer.
So, talking about zooms, that's about, you know, sometimes sounds go like that, and what also makes sounds? Music.
Oh my God,
that's right.
What a segue.
That's insanely good segues. You guys are lucky to have me.
Can you believe it?
Can you believe this? And those were Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, once again, rhythm action game, and Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
I haven't played it, but I've been playing a lot of Deep Rock Galactic, and it has a music mod for Pizza Tower. And I think that game should have been it, because the soundtrack on that game is insane. Like, there's a
Pizza Tower?
Yeah.
You're so young.
What? What's wrong with that?
Let's gotta rizz up some ladies, go and we can play Pizza Tower over at my place.
Have you not heard of Pizza Tower?
Pizza Tower, like I heard about it just like a month ago or something like that, because all the kids were saying that, and I pretend to be young, so I have to like learn these things.
It's a platformer, and again, it's a platform, so I have no real interest in playing it. But the soundtrack is insane. There's a certain song that plays on the boss level of Deep Rock Galactic, and it makes me feel like I'm schizophrenic. It's that insane and off the rails, and it has 3 stages that it ascends, and it's just fabulous. I think that should have been up there. And I also love Dredge, but that's just me.
I mean, a good soundtrack does everything, doesn't it? Anyway, the Final Fantasy 16 won that one because they always have humongous goddamn orchestras, and they've been doing that for a long time. It's never the actual Final Fantasy. It's the 16th one. They just keep on going.
Is that the Mamorpaga?
No, that's Final Fantasy 14.
The Urpaga.
This is just a Final Fantasy game. I tried to play it like one day. I was like, well, I don't know if I want to watch anime or if I want to play a game. So I played Final Fantasy 16 and I got like 15 minutes good gameplay out of like, an hour or something.
Potential hot take. Dragon Quest is better. I love Dragon Quest so much.
I think those are. I don't know. Maybe they're the same. I haven't played Dragon Quest.
I would put Dragon Quest. I love Dragon Quest 8. That's my favorite. But the most recent one, I think it's 11. I'd put that against Final Fantasy. Well, the only one I've played is 7 Part 1, or like Part 1 of 5 or whatever it is. I bloody love those games. It's so fun. Speaking of fun, sounds are fun. Audio design. Well, can I just complain about the nominees for audio design? Alan Wake 2, fair enough. Dead Space, isn't it just like
great audio design? I mean, it's like really
audio design that was made like before, and then they've just kind of like made it better.
It is a remake, yeah. Remakes. There is a good arguments for that remake shouldn't be able to get any rewards at all, yeah.
And then Resident Evil 4 remake, and then Spider-Man, and then Hi-Fi Rush obviously won.
I think I voted for Spider-Man because I really like the fact that you can, when if you start swinging mid-sentence, he'll just switch the audio track like as if he's actually doing something strenuous and actually, web swinging stuff. I think that's kind of cool.
I'd love to have the webcam feed of Yuri Lowenthal recording the web swing because he just sounds like he's so strained every time he says a line. It is very good, but yeah. Hi-Fi Rush is literally a rhythm game.
Yeah, I mean that had great sound design as well. Like if you have to go by audio design, like probably the one that integrates into the gameplay, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because the better you do in a rhythm game, the better the performance. And the best performance nominees were Ben Starr for Final Fantasy 16, Cameron Monaghan for Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba for Cyberpunk, Melanie Liburd for Alan Wake 2, Neil Newbon, Wolfsgate 3, and Yuri Lowenthal for Spider-Man 2. Must sting to be like, be nominated every single category of Spider-Man 2 and just like not win a single one.
7-0. The Twitter gremlins really aren't happy. They're like, how can you put this against Baldur's Gate? And they put like the cutscene at the start where you get thrown by Sadman through a building, and then they put that against like Baldur's Gate where you're just walking around in combat. And then I saw someone spoof that and put like footage of Gollum. Like, how can you say that this doesn't deserve Game of the Year? Spider-Man's a good game. It's just not Game of the Year.
Oh, Gollum. It really was a shit game.
I voted for Jedi Survivor. I think like Cal was well acted. He like did really well throughout. He's a good actor. Cameron Monaghan.
Did you ever watch Gotham?
Yeah, a bit.
He's really good in that.
Yeah, it was great in Shameless as well. But it's like that Neil Newborn Asterion one. It's like, you know what? Fair enough. That's great. It was he acted the shit out of that.
I feel bad because he's not like I still haven't finished my first playthrough because it just fell off. Like every time I go back to, I just forget where I am. It's one of those things where like I'm so deep into an RPG and then I come back and I forget what I'm doing and I just can't work up the motivation. But anyway. Yeah, Astarion's never been in my party, so I'll have to go back and play and get him in so I can enjoy his sultry tones.
He's like the other ones where they just get better if you play a lot with them because they do have like character development and everything like that. So I guess most people just really got attached to Astarion and then voted for him. Is what my guess is. But it's totally deserved either way.
Can you imagine if Idris Elba had won a game award? That'd have been like the most insane shit. Like just randomly pops into voice acting, like, or is he could have voice acted another thing, I'm not 100% sure. Just like pops into voice acting, brings some power to Cyberpunk, and then just gets a game award, refuses to elaborate.
He was good in Phantom Liberty though. He's good in that one. All of these are like great.
Yeah. I've kind of like skipped through a few because there's a lot of stuff that I don't feel like we have anything that we can say like best innovation.
Like innovation in accessibility. It's like, I don't know, man. I can't really say anything. I voted personally for like Street Fighter because I was like, well, it's good that they have because I'm an old Street Fighter dude, I like did all the combos, and then they have like the dynamic one where you can just do like really simplistic combos, and then now they have the like a new system where you can have both the auto combo and not the new combo, and like the old have to press everything. But you know, like you said, I don't think we have anything to really add that one.
The next one I feel like I do have something to say about, and it's mainly to complain, is Best Ongoing, which Cyberpunk won, but Deep Rock Galactic didn't even get a nomination.
Okay, so this one is actually what I wanted to go back to, okay? When I said before, oh, I'm going to go back to this. And this Best Ongoing is because they can't have an award saying, this game used to be shit, and now they have fixed it. Because that's not every year that happens even. And that's why Cyberpunk won that one. Because some companies managed to dig themselves out. Cyberpunk, 100% like the start. I thought it was like an okay game before. And now I think it's like a really good game. They really like made it so much better. Even if you didn't buy the DLC, you can just go back to this, try it out, see if I'm wrong. Why not? But it's like, it's a great game. And here's another thing. Do you guys remember the Steam reviews for Battlefield 2042?
Not good.
They were abysmal. They were like at 9 or 13% or something like that. Like they were really, really bad. But have you guys checked them lately?
Let me have a little look.
On recent reviews, it is on 70% now.
Damn.
And 44 overall. Some companies take that frown and turn it upside down. And that's why they have that reward for like Best Ongoing, right? So it's like, maybe CA can do this as well. Maybe there's hope, because I didn't really know about this until like late last week, you know, like a couple of days ago. I was like, wow, it's actually at 70%. That's crazy. Like it's mostly positive now.
I don't know. I feel like it kind of like it is amazing to see like how Cyberpunk has risen from the sewers and the crap that, well, like, I think that's a bit harsh, risen from mid to good, but like it kind of like takes some of the credit away from games which have come out good and continue to put out good content and like just done great things for their community, which is why I'm like shilling so hard for Deep Rock, because that game, like, it's come out and it's just released free content. I have the game. I bought it, like, I think I bought it just before it launched into 1.0. I've not paid any money to that game. And I have access to the Battle Pass, which has all these skins. There's an event going on where there's all these missions that you can do for extra stuff. There's new weapons which are added, which all you have to do to unlock them is play through a few missions. It's just like the amount of support that they give to that game and ask for nothing in return is like, that is ridiculous levels of game support, which like nothing else really is doing that for free.
I mean, like award shows are a scam.
Absolutely.
They're just popularity contests or like
sure.
Surely like subjective things, right?
Are we saying this is all bullshit then?
Yes.
Like what we're talking about now is just completely fucking useless.
Cut the segment.
Well, you have to remember this. All art is only like the value is only the art of the beholder, right? If you consider games to be art in any kind at all, like then you have to like, you know, understand the other people's subjective opinions, I guess. So in that way, we're just like going through the. Yeah, I guess it is all meaningless actually.
Please wrap it up.
Is that a segue into the next one?
Yes, best community support.
Speaking of a waste of time being part of an online gaming community.
No, but I don't know. I think that's you either accept that games is an art, and then like the frivolous, you know, award shows will happen as well, or and just, you know, enjoy it for what it is. I'm an optimistic nihilist otherwise. I'm like, yeah, life has no meaning, so I don't know. You want to build some Legos?
Yes. Yes, I do.
But yeah, best community support. Yeah, another Baldur's Gate 3 win. It was against Cyberpunk Destiny 2. Oof. Final Fantasy and No Man's Sky, which you gotta respect them overpromising a game to such a degree that's taken them how long has it been that No Man's Sky's been out? Like 10 years nearly, and it's now like a pretty good game. And then Sean Murray comes out and announces, yes, we're going to make a Planet Earth MMO. We can just build on Earth, like an Earth-sized Earth. Okay, goodbye.
It actually launched just a couple of months after Warhammer 1.
Wow.
But like I saw the trailers for No Man's Sky back in the day, and I was like, "What? You just travel through the planets, just take photographs of things or scan them." Like they didn't show anything else. I didn't read any interviews or anything like this. And then the game came out, and people were like, all you do is travel around and you do this because they overpromised." Like I didn't read the promises, right? So I had no idea. But then I bought it like 2018, I think, or 2019, and I had a blast. It's a good game. I played through it I played it from like start to finish a couple of times. Go back to the expeditions.
Speaking of games that you've played through a couple of times, indie game which has Dredge, which I've played through a couple of times.
The indie game one.
Dredge good?
It's fantastic. Perfect. It did not win. Fuck. I'm fine about it.
It did guess. It was pretty controversial with Dave the Diver because it's like an indie game, right? Like, what is an indie game? What do you guys think about when it's an indie game?
Made by an independent studio, which means it's small team, not $1 billion corporation, which Dave the Diver was. It doesn't just mean like it looks like it was made by a small team. Like the vibe of Dave the Diver is an indie vibe, but it's not an indie game because it wasn't made by an independent developer.
Like indie doesn't really mean anything anymore.
Yeah, Jeff's defense was piss poor.
Yeah, I mean, like, what can they really do, right? Because if you guys don't, you guys who are listening don't know, Dave the Diver was created by a company that was funded by Nexon, which is like a giga corporation as well. So they have a publisher. It was just like people, it was all part of the machine, basically. So in the indie, I don't know about that one.
Oh yeah, I think the actual proper like correct definition is like without a publisher.
It used to be, yeah, but it doesn't mean that anymore because now you have indie publishers like Devolver and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like the true indies are like Tale World with Bannerlord and things like that because they're self-owned, self-published. But they're like 100 people or something or more.
This is weirdly,
or used to be anyway. I don't know anymore.
This is funnily enough the category of which I've actually like played the most games, which is 2. I do want to play Sea of Stars because it looks like really good, and I've kind of like it's good to have an RPG on, but unfortunately, I started Cassette Beast recently, which I'm a little bit devastated that it's not here because that game is good. Either you two ever into a Pokemon game?
Yeah,
like Cassette Beast, it's just everything that you want from a Pokemon game, really.
Is it Pokemon?
Sort of.
The newest Pokemons are shit anyway. I bought like Shield, and I was like, this is garbage. If you have like even a rudimentary understanding, it's like, this one is fire. I will have one water Pokemon and beat the entire gym.
The joy of like Cassette Beast is like it's a Pokemon game that they've innovated. Which, the Pokemon company innovating, it just like,
They don't do that shit.
No, they don't. They just like pump out the same game on a different map with some different Pokemons and make like an ice cream with eyes and call it something new. But Cassette Beast, first of all, it's a whole new range of beasts. So like there's all these new ones to pick up and then there's the new type system and you've got to work out it's like a whole new graph to work out, which is just so much fun to work out what beats what. And then just the soundtrack is bumping and then I did a video and I wrote in the thing and recorded that the only thing that Pokemon has is gyms and like an evil team that you have to beat. And I played more, and Cassette Beast actually has both of these things, but it makes like really funny jokes out of both of them. And it kind of like plays off like, you've got to go beat all these rangers so that we can give you your ranger card and you can become a ranger. It's like, okay, dokie then. But it's basically just an excuse to get you to like fight all the different types, which is just fun. It's a great game. You definitely should play if you're remotely into Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, like Pokemon games are amazing how little they managed to innovate in 20 years or something.
It's crazy.
Like amazing. I actually completely crazy how Game Freak just literally phones it in every single time.
Apart from Arceus, that's pretty rad.
I didn't play Arceus. I was so bummed out about Shield.
That's worth playing. It's way different. It's not like just you can actually throw a Pokeball at a Pokemon with your triggers. Insane stuff.
Interesting. It could be worth a look.
Yeah, Pokemon Arceus came out a couple of years ago, but Cassette Beasts, 100%.
That's the best part about Nintendo games, because you can buy it for $60 when it comes out, or you wait 10 years and then you buy it for $70.
Yeah, that is the downside. I think I got it.
They hold their value. That's the impressive thing.
It's always hilarious when I'll get a marketing email. It's like, we're having a massive sale on the eShop. Mario Odyssey's 5% off. I'm like, you fucking kidding me? A game that came out 6 weeks ago is 50% off on Steam. Go away.
Okay, so we're gonna skip a couple of categories here.
Skipping debut indie.
The
debut
ones.
indie, best mobile game, best VR, and we're gonna go into action game.
Yeah.
And Armored Core, Dead Island, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2 were nominated.
Haven't played one.
And I will fight anyone who says that Armored Core didn't deserve that one. Jesus Christ, that's such a. I played the old Armored Core, and it's so funny when I went into different streams to talk to friends who were playing it as well, and you could see who had played this before. Because some people would be like, oh, yes, I will have it balanced. I will have this last cannon here. And then I have to adjust for weights. And then I have to do this and this and this. And it will be very, very good and balanced. And then you go into somebody who's played it before. And they're like, look at my fat tank tracks that I have. 2 miniguns. And they just boost up. I could load this baby up with 50 tons of ammunitions. And just giant missiles is firing off. There's enough DACA that you can move.
I did want. I almost got Armored Core, but I got scared off with the people saying it was so much more difficult than Elden Ring, which I suck at.
No, it's not. It's because those people are the ones who think you're gonna play it as Elden Ring, and they don't go for straight up enough DACA. People are like, oh, I really like this minigun, but I like having a sword as well. I was like, why don't you have 2 miniguns then?
Why not 3? I do like big robots, so
get it. It's just the first boss is pretty rough, but then it's then you get the miniguns, then you unlock those. It's fine. Dead Island 2 was also good. Ghost Runner 2 was also cool. I like the motorcycle segments in that one, but Armored Core was hands down the best one.
Okay, I'm putting Armored Core on my wish list then.
100% do it.
It's happening.
Do you want to check how long to beat a few monsters? I think it's quite short, actually.
Fred, you're a terrible influence on me, Fred. You keep giving me games to try.
Yeah, because you tried Dungeons 4 as well, that I've been chilling for a couple of times.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chris?
So, you're a terrible influence. That's all I can say. Which leads on to the next. Wait, did we say who won that one?
Armored Core, 100%, yeah.
Perfect. Which leads on to the next thing.
In this adventure of award show podcast. The action adventure one, which is different from the action one.
Yes.
Because it's an adventure on top of action.
But then you also walk around sometimes.
So it was Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Jedi Survivor, and Tears of the Kingdom. And I personally voted for Jedi Survivor. I like that game. I like being a Jedi.
I've got it. I love the first one. I want to play it.
That's a game that I did want to try and then never actually did.
That was good.
That's not that hard.
Jedi Survivor, isn't it?
Yeah, the first one, Fallen Order, is not that hard, so I can't imagine Survivor's harder.
I mean, Survivor was one of those games that didn't stick around in the cultural gaming zeitgeist, right? It wasn't everybody talked about it for 2 weeks. Everybody enjoyed it. Most people. There were bugs and technical performance and stuff like that in the stars. I
can see on Steam that all reviews for Jedi Survivor are mixed.
Yeah. So I never got 100% on it because the quest line is broke for me. I couldn't do the bounty hunter one, so it's just what it is. But do you guys want to guess which one won? I guess Monsters can guess because he's the only one who doesn't have it up.
Alan Wake?
No.
Oh.
Zelda.
Sorry, I was just laughing at the next one.
The best RPG.
Fucking Starfield being in the same category as Baldur's Gate 3. Fuck off.
Starfield is really a game that had me like redefining what actually is a fun game for me. Like I had to like sit down and actually have a think.
Monsters. Whoa. Did this game make you question what question?
Yeah.
Did you sit and go?
Yeah. I started I started questioning like my entire thing because I like enjoyed this for like 50 hours, and then I couldn't stand it after that. Like I really hate that game now. And I was like, why? But I enjoy this. And then I was like. And then I started thinking about stuff like, because I usually said like, well, I played for like 100 hours, therefore I have to, recommend it. But now I'm like, no, you don't have to. Like on Steam, for example, you have like a completely binary system of like recommend or not recommend, but you can still enjoy something but not recommend it, right? And like vice versa, I guess. Like Starfield, it was one of those things that's like, are the game mechanics there because they want to keep you engaged? Just so that you do something. Are you properly rewarded for that? Do you feel good at doing that? And in the end, like after playing Starfield, I'm like, no, it wasn't good game mechanics. They just kept me busy. It's like a mobile game. Like I didn't get anything. Like the only thing I enjoyed really was like building my spaceship, but everything else was ass. Like I don't like. It's just loading screen on loading screen, and then I build my spaceship, and then hardly even see the inside of it. It's like,
did you see them starting to reply to Steam reviews?
Oh shit, yeah.
It was too funny.
Yeah, I saw that.
Were the astronauts bored when they landed on the moon? No, but they went to the fucking moon. I am sat in front of my computer looking at a JPEG of a blank planet. It's different.
You like swimming? Why not just have a little swim with your character in the fountain of the main planets? Why don't you do that?
I did. I said the one. I never played Starfield, but the one thing I watched a video someone had done, where they were describing why it was a bad game because they'd like gone to the whatever the fuck it was, like Capitol building, like 10 Downing Street of Baseland. I don't know what the fuck it was. Anyway, so they went right up to Space President. Got her. Of course, she was immune to all damage because she was a special character, and then they just sort of like walked away. But there was nothing to. But all the time I was there thinking, this looks like a really shit like space MMORPG. That's what it looks like. It just looks like a shit MMORPG. Like everything just seems so bland and empty and boring.
Well, it's so weird as well with the quest design, because if you like think about it from Baldur's Gate 3, because in Baldur's Gate 3 you can murder just about anyone. It's just going to be very hard to do that, but you can do that. You can steal stuff. You can like sell them and then steal it back, and there's still like so many things you can do in this. And a really good example from the quest design in Starfield is like, there's a generation ship coming to a planet. They want to settle there because it's a paradise planet. But some giant corporation set up a hotel there. So you go up there and you talk to everybody, and then the choices are that you either try to give them a grav engine from your own pocket. You have to pay like to actually upgrade their ships so they can go to the next place and find another planet, or you sell them to indentured servitude on the planet, and they have to work for the rest of their lives. Or B, you blow the ship up with all the children on it, everything. Like they have class, like school class and everything. You blow that up. And here's not what you can't do. You cannot go into the boardroom of executives and shoot them because they're all essential NPCs. They will not die. And you're like,
that game. Fuck, it's so hard. Oh my god, it's the worst game. Fuck that game.
You
should be allowed to mow those executives down and their families.
Just that quest like sums up the game so well.
God, no, I never want to play that now.
Yeah, I watched a Naked Jakey put out a video about it, which is really good monsters if you're not going to bother to play it, because he just shits all over it. And he said something about the like in the build up, they're like, oh, you can be a pirate if you want and just steal everyone's money, but then you get a bounty, and then you can't complete main quests without either paying off your bounty or going to prison because you can't land on a planet. It's not like in Elite Dangerous if you have a bounty. You can like do this really sick thing where you come in at like Mach 15, engines off, and then like stop inside the station and land. It is insane, but because it's all loading screens, you just get stuck. Anyway, watch the Naked Jakey video. Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah. There's so many problems with it as well. Like it's not even that with being a pirate. It's like it just isn't thought out at all to be a pirate. I became a pirate and it was just shits because all of the bounty missions is to fight your own pirate faction. So you fight all those. That's like the bounty things. or you have to like pay bounties. It's like you don't even earn anything. If you hijack a ship, you get like less for the ship than you do from like selling a gun.
I can't understand why they haven't realized why everyone liked the Dark Brotherhood questline
In Oblivion.
Yeah, everyone fucking loved that, and you know why? Because it let you do shit that was a little bit nefarious. And
people like being the bad guy because you can't
do
that in real life.
It was also really good quest design though. Like for Oblivion, for example, you had like you could either like sneak in really stealthily to like take the trophy animal head to like drop it down when he's sitting on his chair by the fire. You also had the murder house, which is one of the best quests ever.
Yeah, that was so good.
Where you're the murderer and everybody else is trapped in there with you, and you have to kill them without them noticing. And you got like these optional things as well for it, and it was just really good. Because in Skyrim, it's completely different. Then you just go and like kill hobos living by the water for like 4 or 5 of those quest lines. It's the weirdest shit.
It's some more bounties for you. Go kill this homeless man next to the river.
Yeah, it's like what have they even done? Like their life isn't good. Like they're asking me to do this.
It's like they understood that people really like the Dark Brotherhood, but had no idea why, and just couldn't work it out.
It's super weird, man. But
and in the Dark Brotherhood,
I mean, like
you do a lot of fighting. And that brings us to our next character.
Yay!
Fantastic.
Amazing. Just fucking seamless.
Seamless.
I played no fighting games. Fred? Street Fighter?
I love Street Fighter. It like literally it came before Baldur's Gate. I was already riding on a high from like other good games, and I felt like that joy of gaming again. I had my fighting stick out, and I was like, it's so good. Like my main man Akuma isn't in it, but I found my Kenergy and just like started playing with him, and it was just great. Mortal Kombat has a great story. It's fun. It was really good as well. Street Fighter though, it's in my it has a special place in my heart. So I'm glad Street Fighter won.
That's nice.
What is God of Rock and Pocket Bravery?
I don't know, but speaking of place in your hearts, family is also there. And what can you do there? You can play with family, which brings to best family game.
It's just getting old at this bit.
Are we just like skipping this one? Like Monsters, your kid is also like too young to actually play with. I play like weird Swedish games on the iPad.
The child either plays like games on his iPad, or I do have a Paw Patrol. I've got Paw Patrol on a roll on my PC, which if I'm gonna do a quick review, bullshit, particularly because there's you have to collect 200 bones every single level, which is fine.
What?
Yeah, I know, but there's particular, so each level you have like 2 pups, because you know what the Paw Patrol is like. For this rescue mission I'm going to need Chase because I fucking always pick him, and Sky because she's the one with the helicopters. That's actually fucking useful. The rest of you nerds can just fuck off. Anyway, so you get two pups that you take through a level. You have to pick up 100 bones each time. And Chase, one of his like mechanics is he goes into like this top-down maze, but the problem is once you're out of the maze, you can't go back. So I was like going for a bone, but I couldn't get to it without going past the exit, by which point he then went through the exit, and then I was a bone down, so I only got 199 bones out of 200. And I was like, well, I'm not going to fucking play the level again, am I? And then I realised I don't even know I'm still playing this because the child wandered off about 10 minutes ago, but...
I was thinking of getting the Bluey game maybe for me.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's good though. I haven't checked it out, but I did install Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, and like that's simplistic enough for a child. And you know what? That is actually a good game as well. Like it is insane how good like that game actually is. I wonder what reviews it has. It must be like remember it used to have really good.
The Lego games have always been good, but like that one in particular, it just like that's how you innovate on like a series that has kind of become a bit stagnant and make it still the same game, but better in basically every aspect.
Yeah. It has 87% positive reviews on recent and 91 on overall.
How many
it's apparently turned to shit, I guess. I don't know. Turned to 87.
fell off. Anyway.
But
anyway, what? Okay, who won the Family Guy one?
Mario.
Family
Guy
yeah.
award.
Family Guy one.
So I guess Colonel Dammers can only simulate really having a family, which brings us to the next category of sim and strategy.
Yeah, the thing that we should probably actually be talking about and have any business talking about, it's just a load of games that, oh god, what a year for strategy games.
Yeah, so I'm just going to say this. Company of Heroes sent me these, which are like kick-ass. Oh, they're like mirrored, but it's cool, like Nerd Rage fed dog tags. I thought that was cool. Sent me a couple of other things. But man, that game wasn't that good though. It was like it just wasn't. It's so baffling to me because it's like World War II, Dawn of War 3, and I was like, well, didn't they like change anything? And I did like some multiplayer matches like for a day and stuff. It's just I don't know. It just didn't feel like that was such a good game.
I think it's been sullen that City Skylines 2 is up for a game of the year, like a strategy game of the year award, when it literally launched and the developer said, "Yeah, this shit ain't ready." It's pretty harsh.
And Advance Wars 2, 1 and 2, that's just a repackaging. I played those like back in the day when they got released, which was also like 20 years ago or something.
I was going to say that's a really old game, isn't it?
Yeah, and Pikmin 4 is apparently good, but I haven't played it either. Strategy game though that people should play is Alien Dark Descent. Because it was released in February or something. But that shit like came out of nowhere. That was like the first game that came out this year. I was like, wow, this came out of nowhere. It was really good, and it started like rolling. Like that started the good times. But that's a really good game. Like definitely go check that like Alien Dark Descent out instead.
There we go.
I think we might be.
So who won?
Pikmin.
Oh.
I'm gonna skip.
I think there's only one left that we
racing.
really have anything to say about, and it's most anticipated game. And well, we can just talk about our most anticipated games if it's not on the list, of course.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Here we have the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We got Hades 2, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, which I voted for, and Tekken 8. But of course, Final Fantasy won because Final Fantasy.
It is the most popular one.
It is. Almost like it's a popularity contest, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm kind of high for Infinite Wealth because those games are just crazy, and that one is just crazier as well. Like Yakuza games are really one of those that is like a hardcore crime drama, really good acting and like story and everything. Bam, you're like out on the streets trying to find like a new engine for your race car, for your like little like radio control race car for the track, where you're like going into like a club of other sweaty men, just trying to do that, or like run a bar, or you're doing karaoke and stuff like that. It's like the Yakuza games are the craziest ones. They switched names now from Yakuza to Like a Dragon, but craziest games out there.
Yeah, I'm hope that Star Wars Outlaws game is good. I'm not like ridiculously confident that it will be, but
I did vote for Star Wars Outlaws. I'm a sucker for map games. They're like crack cocaine to me.
Yeah, it's another Ubisoft game. So yeah.
Yeah. And say what you will about Ubisoft games, but when they interview like ancient Egyptologists or historians, and you ask them like, oh, what's the best representation of this time period? And if that was in a Assassin's Creed game, they're gonna say the Assassin's Creed game, like Origins, hands down the best one for like representation of ancient Egypt, what we know of historically.
Not Total War Pharaoh.
It's crazy, but it's no matter what you think about them, they do make really, really good environments. The microtransaction bullshit is absolute garbage. Like, I hate that. But the environments are beautiful. So just having that for Star Wars, I mean, already there, at least you have some atmosphere, right? So if you just make the rest of the stuff good. Obviously, the most anticipated game, though, is Space Marine 2.
True.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to that game.
Am I allowed to now talk about my game that I've been wanting to talk about since the start?
Is it Avatar?
Yes. I fucking love it.
Can I just say that I saw an ad for that game, and I think the red flag for me was when it came. When it comes up with the comments from, it'll be like this IGN, and IGN came up with entertaining, IGN. And I'm like, that's a very low bar, IGN. If the only thing you can pull out of a review is that it was entertaining.
I'm under no.
I don't want to denigrate how good it is. I'm just
allow me to explain. So, I'm well aware that this game is basically just a Far Cry game and it's super duper mid. But I also fucking love that Avatar world and just wandering around it, flying around on an Ikran. You got me, Ubisoft. I fucking love that game.
Like I said, like they do environments fantastically.
Amazing. The level of detail, like the prologue starts you out in a base, and I was like, I'm so depressed. And then you just go out into the forest, and it opens up, and the music swells, and I was like, wow.
That's so funny. Like, if you ask the ancient Egyptologists, the best reputation that's, if you ask this sad internet man what's the best one for Avatar is, he's like, wow, it just opens up.
It is so pretty. It's amazing.
It's the fact that he knows the name of the flying thing. That's the real sort of. Yeah, there we go.
I haven't played it. It's on my list of things to play. It's definitely going to play it because those map games are like crack cocaine to me. I'm not even saying they're good.
There's plenty of map. Don't worry.
I'm just saying, after a while, when you play those games a lot, you're like, oh, that's a lot of icons on the map. That looks like shit, maybe to other people. But for people who play a lot of map games, they're trying to start deciphering which of those little icons are fun, and they search for those. Or which little icons will give you more armor, or like a different piece of armor or something.
It's basically like dropping you into a candy shop, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And then just seeing all of the different sweets that you can just be like...
Yeah, and then you know that you don't like half of them, so you just go for like the other ones.
Yeah.
But then
fuck that.
Even the stuff that you do like, it's like kind of a really bland taste of the thing that you like. So you have to like get a lot of them to get the value.
Yeah.
But there's an option in that game called exploration mode, where for quests, main quests, it's just like, oh, instead of giving you a map marker, it's to the west of this river, just north of this camp, and whatever. And I think that's really cool. I get lost all the time, but it's really neat. However, all the map markers, like the random things that give you skill points, things that give you more pelf, and all that stuff, that's on the map. And you have a compass that I can't find a way to turn off. So you cannot escape the map thing, even in the option, which is meant to just give you, like, the basics. But, yes, I adore the game. I'm well aware that it's not amazing, but it's fun for me.
Hey, as long as it's your bag and you're enjoying it, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Fuck those guys. Join me in the Lamplighter camp.
No, I'm alright. I'm alright for Lamplighter. Thanks.
But it's I always go back to that. It's okay to like the stuff and don't recommend this, and vice versa as well.
If you love Avatar, you will probably enjoy it almost as on the same level as me. If you're not that bothered, you probably won't care.
I haven't even watched the second Avatar movie.
I haven't. I've wanted to, and I was talking to my dad like, "Oh, let's go watch it at the cinema." 'Cause he's the only person that'll commit to 3 hours of Avatar, and he just kept saying yeah, and then we made no attempt, and we got busy.
I almost went to the movies again, like just last Friday, because we had a babysitter, or our grandparents took our child, and the only time we could go and see, because I really like Godzilla movies, like I like all the Godzilla movies. I grew up watching those, and I love them still. So we went to, I wanted to watch the new Godzilla movie, but the only time they actually went, or times to they're playing, were like it's 10 in the evening and 11 in the evening. And I was like, I'm at that age where I should be in bed then, because I get up early in the mornings. I'm not gonna go to the movies and then sleep for 4 hours and do a whole day of 4 hours sleep. Not anymore, buddy.
The last film I saw was that Poirot one, and it was great. Apart from there was one bit where Poirot is unknowingly tripping balls, and they do a Sir Digby Chicken Caesar type thing where the camera's focused on his head, and he's sort of going around. So you're always looking directly at his face, and he's sort of wobbling around in the background. And I laughed my arse off at that point.
Poirot movie? Which one is that?
It's like a
Poirot. Oh, okay, yeah.
Poirot, a Murder in Venice or something. I think it was called a ghost story. in Venice.
Okay. Now I get it.
So he's tripping balls, and he's doing a Sir Digby Chicken Caesar thing, which didn't quite work for me thematically, but
God, I've been watching. We're in the tangent section. It's happening. I've been watching Killing Eve, like kind of off and on, and I found the worst blood tracking effect that I've ever seen in something that's made it to television. That's like meant to be high quality. Because like you watch all the other stuff, there's good. Like it's not like super graphic, but whenever they're shooting, it's all pretty tight and it looks good. And then there's this scene where someone escapes out the back of a van and she shoots this guy, and I thought there was some crap on the camera, like it was a blood spat, and the camera's like, oh, that's a weird effect. And then I looked closer, and it was like the gunshot was just a JPEG on this guy, and as he went down, it like wobbled all around his torso. I was like, how can you possibly let that get through?
Man,
that's amazing.
I think there's something wrong with the Disney Plus version, because there was another scene which was just cut so weirdly.
I had movie nights with my community, and we watched Velocipaster, and it's absolutely amazing as a movie. I think it's on Prime. Everybody should watch that one. It's just insanely good. It's about a pastor that gets the powers to become like a werewolf, but instead it becomes a velociraptor. And he has to fight ninjas with his new friend who used to be a prostitute. And it's amazing, absolutely amazing. Like they blow up a car at some points, and they just have like fire VFX just as a text on a car. They're like, yeah, we couldn't afford this.
And it's just the truest form of filmmaking.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
Lead into it. That makes sense.
It's fantastic. But if you like the Dungeons for their monsters, you should really check out Steam World Build.
Yeah, I've tried this one. Yes, I tried the demo that was on at Steam Fest.
Yeah, because that's like Anno mixed with Dungeons.
Yeah.
And I played it for a bit, and I was like, it's pretty good.
Anno?
Yeah.
Okay, you have my attention. I might have to look at this.
Yeah, it is kind of like you have like an Anno. It's a kind of a weird cartoony sort of. There's like I can't remember. There's like it's a whole genre, isn't it? Of like the same.
Yeah, Steam
World games. Yeah. I didn't realize this, and then people were commenting on video. Oh yeah, it's got like a whole thing, whole world build around it. I was like, oh shit, I have no idea. But yeah, so you have like a settlement buildy thing, which is very Anno, and then you have to dig underground, which is very sort of like it's almost Dungeon Keeper, isn't it?
Yeah, but without like heroes and stuff like that. There are some monsters though, but
yeah, so you're producing goods on the surface which help you dig, and then you're digging resources below which then help your settlement grow, because obviously you need a certain amount of goods to process to then increase the level of your houses, which then give you better.
It's basically like Anno, where you're just like, oh, this is like as good as it's gonna get, and then like it opens up to the next level, and you start like making all the resources just amp up so high, and it gets pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I did like the demo of that, so I would like to.
I wonder what it has on Steam. It has 75%, so I guess not for everyone, but most people.
Seems pretty good.
A game that apparently is for everybody, though, that I played also this week is RoboQuest, which is basically like Doom in graphic style of like Borderlands. And it's a roguelike, so you just do like runs, and there's every single weapon you've ever played with in a shooter. And it's just every single run is like different. There's class stuff like that. And that thing has 95% overall positive reviews.
It's sick.
96 on recent.
It's an excellent game.
Out of like 8,000 reviews. It is like soundtrack is great and everything. And people came in and asked like, so why does it have like 95%? And all I can say is just like, it's easy. All you have to do is just make a good game and you price it correctly. It's like $25 and it's a good game, right? So everybody's just like, yeah, this is good. It's weird how that works, right? It's really weird. Well, literally costs as much as Chaos Dwarfs or Shadows for Change.
I was going to say this about Dredge, right? Because that is a game that kind of came out of nowhere, and literally everyone I saw play it was like, it's just really good. It doesn't feel hard to make like a good game. You just need to, I think, be careful of your scope more than anything else.
Yeah.
Don't try and do too. don't go the Star Citizen route and try and literally create an entire existence.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think also Steam reviews are a little bit misleading when it comes to like the really higher brackets, because obviously like Dread has like 98% recent reviews, which is really high. That doesn't like translate into like real world. It's not a 10 out of 10 game when it's competing to like other stuff. Well, like if you gotta compare it to like Red Dead Redemption 2 or like stuff like that, like is it really though? 10 out of 10. Like it's a good game, but here's my pitch, okay? Here's my pitch, okay? You have to listen to all this. I think a good 7 out of 10 or a good 8 out of 8, 8 out of 10 game is not 8 out of 8 out of 10 is like a better than a 10 out of 10 game sometimes. Because a 10 out of 10 game has like insane scope. You have to like really get into them most of the time. Like Red Dead Redemption, you're not just gonna like fire up for 20 minutes if you've just been playing like something else, right? Because that's like a really hard thing to get into. But a good 7 out of 10 game will know exactly what it wants to do. It tries to get just that, and it gets that into like a tight, good experience. Obviously, that's like subjective score making and stuff like that, and that's a slippery slope on how to do stuff. But a good 7 out of 10 game is what I really like. That's why I like the Dark Descent and RoboCop as well so much.
You know what I think is probably in that bracket and desperately underrated? Did either of you two play Midnight Suns?
Yeah, I did.
That
was like insanely good, actually.
I know. That is one of my most underrated games, I think.
Yeah. It's on my list. I just need time to play it, but it does look good.
I made like a glam rocker dude. Because like what's even more funny that he came around like, oh, you're the chosen one. He's like the golden god from It's Always Sunny, basically, like from those weird covers. It's like, it's I am.
It's just
laughed every time.
I think like a lot of people get sickened off because it's like, oh, it's all the interactions. It's so cringe. Like take people on friendship dates. You go to book club with Captain America and Marvel. It's like that shit is so cringe and endearing. I just absolutely love it. And like coming home from a hard day of fighting demons and then going to book club and talking about like the art of war, Sun Tzu with Captain America and Captain Marvel and Blade. It's just so stupid. I just love it. And then the actual gameplay where you're doing the card stuff, I think is insanely fun.
I mean, like the combat is just, like the combat is really good, actually. Like I got really surprised when I fired it up first. I was like, wow, this is like surprisingly good.
Yeah, it looks like when I first saw it as a card thing, I was like, that's kind of lame. And then I gave it a try. I was like, oh, I get it now. Each level just turns into this like sort of bit more of a puzzle than a strategy game sometimes, and just using the right cards in the right order and the combinations. And yeah, it's great. Definitely play
it's like Slay the Spire just uses cards, doesn't it? And yet that is fucking amazing.
The one thing that is incredibly lame is like there's these hero combos, and I was like, oh, like in Marvel when Iron Man will shoot Captain America's shield and he'll do a combo of them working together. That's what combo means, to combine.
Teamwork, yeah.
Well, the combo card actually is one character will flash through some, like just have a weird comic book behind them, do their attack animation, and then it'll switch to the other person, they'll do theirs, and then it'll just do that a couple of times, and then it'll take a lot of damage at the end. I was like, oh. I suppose it'd be a lot to ask for animations for however many characters, like 15 different characters to combine with the other 14. I don't know, but it's a little bit lame. Oh well, but yeah, it's a really good game. It's still worth doing.
No, it is still on my list. It is still on my list, but problem is it's hard to find time to play games that aren't going to be good for like content. So
that's definitely a problem. I agree with. Like I've been really enjoying Avatar, and I was like, I kind of want to make a video about this because I really love it. And then the game turns into work. It's kind of why I like stopped playing Baldur's Gate 3. So I was like, wow, I'm really enjoying this. I'm going to make some build videos. And then I'd made a load of build videos and then kind of got like sick of playing.
Man, I'm the reverse because I'll play everything first time on stream, basically in front of people. So I like make the content straight like as I go, and it's just usually a train wreck because I don't want to be like the guide person. I just want to go there and have fun and have people with me having fun, basically. But instead I get like the other thing where if something doesn't do well for the channel, then I'll just stop playing it as well. And I'm like, I really enjoyed that one, but then you have like that slight resentment towards it instead.
Yeah.
You probably don't get that with YouTube, but or like the type of content you guys do. But I definitely have like some games that I'm like, yeah, that's a super cool game that I want to play, but that's it did me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly the same, but I think there's definitely something like, oh, I'm really enjoying this game. I'm going to make a video about it. And then you put the video on, it does absolute ass. And you're just like, I don't want to play this game anymore because it's not worth my time.
And conversely, I have played a game which I was just a throwaway. I was like, yeah, I'll do a video about this. And it was my most successful video ever. And I have no idea why.
Yeah, I got a 1 out of 10 the other day. And oh, the dopamine. And then I just have to live with the depression of just not being it for the next at least 10. It was insane. Like it was top 10 artillery, which is like such a basic bitch video, really. And it did like 30k in 3 days. Crazy.
Jeez. No, I did a video about a game called what's it called? It's like a zombie
surviving no.
Yeah, no, it's what the fuck's it called? I had it here somewhere.
I know which one. It's the one with like Google Maps.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Infection-free zone. That's it. I did a video. It was a Steam Fest demo, and I just saw it. I was like, "It looks interesting. I'll play it." So it basically uses, kind of like Google Maps, basically, so that you.
But it uses actual Google Maps, doesn't it?
It uses a map player, and I can't remember which one it is, but it's not exactly Google Maps. But effectively, you can use it on any part of the world as long as it has buildings that they've like mapped in 3D. So you can have like, say you go to your street. If they've mapped that, so they will have like the buildings there, but they might be all flat, in which case they're not going to show up in the game. But if they're built up, then you can go, I'm going to start a zombie apocalypse here. And then you can go, I'm going to start in my house.
God, what a wonderful way to dox yourself.
Right?
Yeah.
And you then sort of like, you have your little survivors, you have like your 10 little survivors, and you can send them out to chop wood and stuff, and then they get resources. You can build like a little camp, so you can build walls and stuff around your house. And you can like you can barricade other buildings and stuff, and then of course zombies appear and they'll attack you, and you can have guns and you shoot them. It's like a little strategy game thing, which is it's fine. It's fucking balls hard because the zombies seem to know where the fuck you are at all times. Not to mention that water doesn't seem to be a thing, so they'll just like they'll just walk across the water because it's not actually water as far as they're concerned. But it's fine. It's a little bit bare bones. I did a video of it, and it's my best video ever, and I genuinely don't know why.
I think that game was just very hype for a bit because everybody could just start playing like their city and stuff like that. Like I played my city, and it's like recreates the city really, really well.
Yeah,
at least my city created like really well. So you can see like the town square where the little like hot dog vendor is, or like stuff like that. Like it's crazy the detail you get from it, and that was really cool.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I did talk to the developers. I did get an alpha version, but it's so fucking buggy. It always crashed at a certain point in the game, and you couldn't save it. So it's kind of like, yeah. I'm waiting till it's. I do like the idea of it because I could slap myself down in Plymouth, and barricade the football stadium, Plymouth Argyle. And to be honest, Plymouth, it's very hard to know when there's a zombie apocalypse happening at the best of times. To be honest, because the local population are unique, but it seems quite fun. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? It's a little bit different.
I love weird games.
Yeah.
Even if they're not that fun, it's like, wow, I've never played anything like that before.
I think one of the best things that we have at the moment is that there are just so many fucking games. And admittedly, 98% of them are complete dog shit. But 2% of them, pretty good.
Yeah. I think the best, like when you said like really weird games, No One Lives Under the Lighthouse is such a good movie. No, not a good game. Because I remember like The Lighthouse had come out. I just watched that. And then there's like another one that is, the game is just No One Lives on the Lighthouse, which is Lovecraftian weird game that is just a fantastic experience. I won't spoil anything, but it is
pretty.
But it is fun. If you're like me, at least, who like doesn't get scared of things and just think they're funny, I thought it was chock full of memes. These are like how this is like humor to me for some reason.
Oh, I've never heard of that, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that's it's fantastic. I used to have like weird Wednesdays on my channel, so I found like the weirdest shit I could find, and that is fantastic. It's a great game.
Yeah, I've never played anything weird recently. I've been like catching up on like the mainstream stuff that I haven't got around to yet.
I did play one thing that was a little bit out there, which is called. I'm trying to find the name of it. Is it? Excuse me, sir. Is that what it's called?
Oh, is that the one where you insult people?
No. So I don't know if you ever see it, but there's a lady called Molly Moon who does these like weird FMV-esque horror sequences. She's also on certain adult websites, but the bit that's real. Well, Dan's head swing around that. But the best bit is that she does these weird like FMV horror sequences, and I think she and Jesse Cox have kind of got together and basically turned it into a game, and they've got a demo available from is it GitHub, which you can download and try, and it's all just really fucking weird. It's definitely worth a look, all of it.
I mean, if you guys are looking for weird games, one of the most fun games I play that is just I haven't found a game like that. I think ever after that. Megaton Rainfall. You play as a god trying to protect the Earth, and you have like one city that's actually made, but you can literally fly out to the moon, and you can fly to the edge of the universe. And when you're at the edge of the universe, you're like, how the hell do I find my way back? Because everything, you're in space, right? And you fly there so quickly as well, because you're a god. It's crazy good.
Oh wow!
It's fantastic. It's like one of the most fun times I've had on streaming. I think that and Fight Crab.
When you said it, I was thinking of I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically a Windows Forms game.
It's like the flying carpet one or something.
My internet is dying.
It's basically like I'm trying to think of the name. Fuck it, but it's you have like a planet, and the planet has resources on it, and you basically go, I'm going to build a satellite, and I'm going to send it out into my solar system, and that takes 3 hours. It's that kind of game where getting to the next solar system is going to take you at least like 3 days of playing. And it's all based on, very simple wireframe graphics. That's what I had in my head as soon as you said this. But this actually looks really fucking pretty, like genuinely amazing.
It's cool. I had a good time playing it. I think it's in VR as well. Fight Crab is also good. It's just wonky though. It's just you play as a crab, and then you get like different weapons, and you start like with kitchen knives, and you're like, here's the crab with a knife trying to fight another crab with a knife. But then you get like Triton's harpoon and stuff like that. Well, trident, and you get like go on a flying manatee and stuff like that. It's pretty good as well. Or dual wheel chainsaws in a fish markets.
I've learned to take your suggestions very seriously, because you suggest some really fucking good games. So
yeah, we don't listen to what you suggest, monsters.
Lamplighters League.
It's so good. I don't understand why no one likes it.
I uninstalled it the other day. I was doing a good old Steam purge, and I was like, yeah, that's going.
So sad. So sad. Talk of games not doing.
Oh god, my
how's Age of Sigmar doing? Realms of Ruin.
Oh, like 70 players.
Yeah, no, they not have much. I think it's more now in the evening, but like during the day it was like 40 something maybe. So
I got like most of the way through making a video for it, and I was like, oh, I'll check the Steam charts, and I just like saw it and just lost all motivation to continue working. I was like, damn, this is just so sad.
Oh shit.
Yeah, feels bad.
I mean, yeah.
What else more?
But what have you guys been playing otherwise? What have you guys been playing since last time?
Rogue Trader, baby. Rogue Trader. It's so good.
I've been stuck in it for that in that sense, like Wednesday, I think, when we were allowed to start playing it.
Yeah. Yeah. To be honest, I'd be playing it now if it weren't for this. So I just fucking love it. It's so good. It's better than Baldur's Gate 3.
Agree to disagree. I really like it though. It's a lot of like moral discussion about the 40k universe, which I really like.
What's to discuss? I'm the boss. Everyone should listen to me.
Yeah, well, it's like a lot of people who come into to the channel like don't know anything about 40k, so you just have to like explain to like, no, that's literally a lobotomized baby that they strap rockets to.
Yeah.
Like,
instead
of
why emailing people?
Why do all the computers have skulls? No, that is the computer. That's a person that is also lobotomized. They don't trust. They just like keep on going with that. It's like, oh, is everybody evil? It's like, well, it depends a little bit how you ask. But like, morally saying, maybe the orcs aren't like actually like in the moral spectrum because there are bioweapons. They don't really have a choice in the matter.
The best way I can explain the Imperium is you think of like a farm world being quite nice, right? Little house on the prairie kind of. But there was a description I read where they basically just like leveled the fucking planet. The planet is just leveled, and the planet is that the environment is as good for growing plant life, the particular one type of plant life they're going to grow on the planet, as they can possibly do it, which is not good for humans. So the humans that live there have to all wear like rebreathers all the fucking time. Not to mention, it'll kill you really quickly anyway. So they live on like these little like bases basically, where they go out in these massive like harvesting machines, and they can't leave the planet, and that's their life, and it's shit. And that's the Imperium farm planet. I just think that's the perfect example of just how shit the Imperium is. It's just garbage.
I mean, you go to a nicer agri planet as well later on in the.
They like to try and make you think that, but no, it's a garbage. The whole of the Imperium is just a fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah, it is kind of bad. Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically space Britain, isn't it? It's what would happen to the universe if the British were in charge.
Oh Christ! Please.
It's the Imperium was designed after what was it, Margaret Thatcher's era and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I mean we're downhill from there. So to be honest, the sort of like slow decay of the Imperium is very true to life. They've really hit the nail on the head there.
You guys are sitting like,
it's just depressing.
We don't know how the tube works, so if it breaks down, we can't have it more. Bring in the incense so we can make it start again.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, lobotomized robot babies instead of emails may be the way forward for us.
Imagine that pitch meeting. It's like, no, emails aren't a thing. We can't have panels everywhere. No, we can go everywhere, though. There's baby or rocket boosters with a scroll. It's like, oh, can you really train babies for that? Well, here's the fun parts.
I mean, have you seen our broadband speeds are fucking awful? So to be honest, the rocket booster babies could be quicker.
Well, that's disturbing.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But yeah, so such a good game. And the other game we played was Necessi.
Yeah, the one where we played the multiplayer.
Yeah, that was really good. I'd never played that before, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like he's definitely a success story. I read about that dude. He's like, a solo dev is making like 10,000 euros every month, and just like doing his thing, enjoying life. It's kind of nice.
I mean, you can't really ask for more. Well, I mean, you could probably ask for more, but it's got real Terraria vibes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's definitely like top-down Terraria, basically.
Yeah, but it really works really well. Just a lot of fun, to be honest. Even if the frozen fish meta is a thing. I kept meaning to do a video on that, but the audio fucked up on my recording, so I was a bit like, oh, that's a shame.
Oh, you can use my VOD from my.
I might do that. I might just steal yours.
I'm on that one though. I just remember now. But you can just like put a GIF of a JPEG of yourself.
I did go, hey, look,
just have your camera. Because I have like the chroma key, so you just have your camera. Yeah, just have your camera on it.
Monster Round reacts.
No, not even react. You just like pretend it's you, and then it's like, oh wow, this is really hard to do. And then like the little progress bar comes around, and you're like, just try to ignore it.
Yes, so that was really good, and also Dungeons 4, which Fred suggested and is really, really fucking good. So that's good.
It is very good.
Have you two played that Against the Storm game?
Yes. I played a little bit.
I feel like not played enough of it to really get it, but that is ridiculous on Steam. I think that's one of those that's like 95% positive with several 10,000 reviews.
It's really good. I mean, I will say that because that's another Hooded Horse one, isn't it?
Yeah. They have quite a killer library.
They really do. There's a lot of their games are coming out next year, and they're going to be so fucking busy.
It's crazy. 95% positive Steam reviews.
With 16
$20 now on sale. Like 4 more days. Wow, having like a good game for a good price. That's crazy. Yeah, you just do that.
Madness.
People like madness.
You focus on what your game is. You don't try and make it everything. You price it accordingly. And then people will buy it.
Yeah, it's priced well.
If you build it, they will come.
Yes.
That was also actually something that I started thinking about with CA, because CD Projekt Red thought it was insane how many people bought the DLC, and around 20% of people who bought the main game for Cyberpunk bought the DLC, and that's like incredible attachment rates according to the games industry. And it's like, how many people actually buy like the Total War DLCs really? Like Warhammer must be crazy since they actually keep on making them. But like that was like really a weird thought to make so few of them as well.
I mean, I've always seen there's some weird stats coming from Warhammer. I remember them saying it's like there's so few people have actually ever completed a campaign. But I guess that shouldn't be surprising, because actually the late game for all Total War games is a fucking slog.
Yeah. Also, that takes a long time. Like once it's not hard anymore, you just kind of breeze through it anyway.
Yeah. It's like, well, this is just now. I just need to take like 1 million more settlements.
Yeah, I mean, if you manage to get through that hurdle and you have a big empire, even on the hardest difficulty, you can give it to somebody who's only played it for a handful of hours, so they understand the basics, and they will win the campaign for you.
Or a games journalist. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, that's the only things I've been playing. Anyone else?
I think I've talked about all the shit I've been playing.
I play so much stuff all the time, so I just feel like I'm gonna hog these segments forever. But I went back for Skyrim for my Throwback Thursday, and had a good mod pack for cool little 500 mods or something. It's nice.
Was it the naked one?
No, fortunately not. Because that is against terms of service on my websites. And also did RoboQuest, SteamWorld, and Fallout 76 from Rogue Trader. A lot of Rogue Trader now. That's been really taking over my life.
Same.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a Dogmatic, Rod.
You know what? I swing anyway. The direction I'm going is what's good for me. And
at rank 3, it gets locked in anyway, so you're gonna have it's gonna decide for you.
I'm mostly Dogmatic, mostly because that's the kind of don't you dare talk to me, you riffraff. However, there have been certain points where I've been like, yeah, I'll go a little bit heretical because I'll let these pirates leave because they've promised me some good shit. So that's fine. I don't mind that. On the other hand, if you go, oh, there's a demon planet there, should we blow it up, or maybe let's just keep it around and see what happens? I don't think we should keep it around and see what happens. That doesn't sound like a good idea. That's not going to give me anything, right? So not that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind going back and playing a little heretical, but I don't know how much it would change. That's the only problem.
It feels like it would do a loss. I don't know either. But I've been playing Iconoclast because there's for people who don't know, there's 3 different ones. So you either play Dogmatic, which is how you're supposed to be in 40k. It's oh, this planet's getting overrun. Let's exterminate it. We will murder it. You are a violent monster, man. But you follow the Emperor, basically. That's Dogmatic, Everyone is a monster man over there.
Blowing up a demon planet is necessarily the worst option.
Well, it's turning into a demon planet, right? It's not really. You can go down there and save people as well.
Well,
so Iconoclast is the dude who saves it, And Heretical is the one who like kind of, wanna maybe like, I can't remember.
Should we go down there and party with them because they seem like pretty chill guys?
Yeah.
I mean,
Heretical is like, I found this really cool sword that whispers to me. You guys want to see it? Anyway, I'm gonna stab you with it.
Never carry the evil sword. There's that never goes well. You do not. Any sword that looks vaguely evil, throw it out of the fucking airlock. Terrible idea.
I'm doing a slightly iconoclast run where I'm trying to like be Cypher's Kane basically and like save people a little bit and like be a moral dude, but like in 40k you're an insane person. Everyone hates every single one of those decisions that I do. Everyone hates it. Everyone's like, are you really sure about this? And I'm like, yeah, they're also human. And they're like, are they though? They are very poor. I don't know if they're actually people though. Like, I don't know.
That is one of the things I love about that, is the fact that everyone just feels weirded out when you're nice to people.
Yeah. It's like one of the early quests is like a bunch of prisoners. It's like, yeah, we knew something was wrong with the warden when he started giving us 3 meals a day and didn't beat us daily. It's like, something was wrong then. They couldn't put our finger on it, but we knew things were going to go south from here.
Good old 40k universe.
Good old 40k universe.
Such a shitstorm. But yeah, such a good game. Really good.
I'm excited for the Spice Marine.
Yeah, September next year.
Yeah, bit of a wait.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, that's the only game that I've got on my radar, which I'm actually looking forward to next year.
Yeah, most anticipated would come back.
I have like 2 or 3 that I'm actually wanting to play, but I have to be reminded of them, other than the Space Marine.
I might just every week just go to Fred and go, what game should I like? And then Fred can tell me what I should like. And that way I can steer clear of landmines like Lamplighters League.
Yeah, Fred's got a pretty good like finger on the pulse of what people think is good. I like really shit that no one thinks is good, that like a very niche amount of people thinks is good. And Monsters likes things that are not good.
Objectively just bad.
It's probably because I stream though, so people come in and tell me everything constantly. Like it's always like a cautious stream of like, if I'm playing something bad, then people will tell me definitely, and I'm like, oh, I'm still enjoying it, and they're like, no, you're not. It's like I kind of am though. They're like, I don't really care. You know what's shit? This game. And I just keep on going like that
until you play 15 hours into Starfield, then you start questioning having a
Starfield was so weird. So weird, man. It's the weirdest game ever. So bad as well. So bad.
If Elder Scrolls 6 is just like the same shit again, I think Bethesda will be in like serious trouble.
They can make a Skyrim game, kind of, and that would probably work. But like it's the loading screens that really kill it. That and procedurally generated. Like people do not like procedurally generated has its time and place. Jesus Christ, in those like big budget games, they should not exist.
No, not single player either. Like if it was multiplayer and you're just going around random planets with your friends, multiplayer covers a range of sins. Because when you're with someone else, you can just fuck around doing anything. But when it's just you, like that, again, I haven't played the games that I'm shit talking so religiously, but yeah, that just does not sound fun.
No, it worried me from the get-go because I just remember Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous is a game where they just procedure generated the entire universe, which is fine, but it's not interesting.
It's impressive.
Yeah. It's impressive. Mechanically,
everything is uniquely the same. Have you guys played Conan Exiles?
No.
Because that's getting a big update now in a couple of days, and it's a good argument for procedurally generated, I guess. Because it's a really cool map, like the main one. Like you have a giant spire that you can climb and fight like a bass demon, and you can, swim down to Underwater Temple, and you can go out into the wilderness for ice giants in like the icy regions, or the jungle for like, jungle warriors and like fight dragons in certain specific regions. And it's all like beautifully handcrafted for survival place. Like everything has its place, and it's all like very thought out. But once you play through it and like done everything and you have your really cool memories of first encounters, it's not as cool anymore. So it's really interesting. Like, would it be better with procedurally generated when you actually have like new things all the time? But like, obviously it wouldn't be as good from the first time, but you would have more of it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it can. I'm just going back to my thinking, but like Minecraft has procedurally generated worlds, and that can be quite cool. I think
I've actually never played that game.
What?
Jesus Christ, really?
Your gamer licenses are going to get revoked.
I actually never played that one. It's
there's your Throwback Thursday.
It's a great idea.
Red plays Minecraft. I'd watch that. But you know, you can run into really interesting looking landscapes. But I think with a game like Starfield, where it's supposed to be an RPG, it needs that crafted. You need to be able to find cool shit. That's the one thing people play those games for. And if you just run into generic bollocks, then
yeah, the thing with Minecraft is that the exploration of the world and finding the resources that you need, and oh well, if I run all the way to this jungle, then I'll be able to get the cocoa beans and I can make myself some cookies. That's like part of the game, but
yeah,
you know, I suppose the Starfield thing, and again, it just seems like you go to a planet, maybe there's a base that will offer you the same resources that every other base offers you, so there's no real point to it. It seems.
Yeah.
Other than just, isn't it impressive? And it's like, well, sort of, but no, because it's been done, and it wasn't fun then.
Yeah.
You guys want to come with me on some Conan adventures? I'm making a server.
Sweet. That'd be good.
Sweet. That's the most. I'm over 35 and I don't have time for that answer I've ever heard. Sweet. Yeah, we'll see about that.
It's one of those things like, oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. And then I realize I have no time to do that. So
yeah, same, honestly. Like the first time I played it, I didn't have kids or anything like that. It was amazing. You know, you do so many weird adventures and now it's like memes. Like you used to have like you just have like a group of friends and you're just running around in the darkness and then like some rainstorm happens and then a giant spider comes out of everything and then everybody's just like somebody's just holding the torch trying to like place that and spiders coming from everywhere. It's like the torch, everybody's like stabbing with their spears, panicking, and the only time you ever see anything is like during a second where lightning strikes from the rainstorm and you're like, oh, and you see more and more of them coming out from the shrubbery and everybody's fighting for their life and then you actually survive that and you're like, shit, that was one of the coolest gaming things I've ever done in my life. It was just by chance. You can go there during the day as well if you want to.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Oh, I remember playing video games all weekend and loving it.
Yeah,
I can't do that now.
Yeah, I mean, I could. I just have poor time management. I'm like, oh, I have plenty of time. And then it gets to Sunday and I'm like, oh, fuck, my video is not done.
Yeah, but what are you doing on Monday?
I'm just fucking around. All right, so I've made my video for Friday. Today's Monday. I've made my video for Friday. Inevitably, I will find something to fuck around and do instead of making Monday's video. And then it'll get to like Saturday and I'm like, ah, shit, I need to. But the thing is, I won't even like do something constructive. I'll just like watch YouTube videos or something. I won't even like play Avatar or something fun that I haven't done before. It's just, I just waste my life, really.
I wonder if like YouTube videos have like a generational thing. Like back when, like if you go back 10 years, if you would just like stay up all night and watch YouTube videos, you would inevitably come to the like videos of just animals fighting, like anaconda fighting jaguar and like bear fighting other moose or something. You know, like you would find like weird videos like that eventually. I wonder what you find nowadays. I guess it's like
it'll just be like the content mills
are different.
It'll just be shit content. God, this is like complete tangent, but you know, it's kind of the point. If you two watch the H-Bomber guy vid,
yeah.
Oh yes. My God.
Well, I'm halfway through it.
You dropped a. Oh well, if you're halfway through, you're not to the actual point yet.
Oh.
That guy makes amazing videos, and that one is like it drops some fucking bombs.
My only concern is his videos are they're taking longer to make, and they're also getting much longer. At some point, he will just get to a point where he's going to be constantly making a video that never comes out. It's going to hit like an event horizon. That's it, a singularity.
Yeah, you're really in that, was it like Pacific Rim meme? Where it's like,
but like a reverse one.
Yeah, reverse
like
one,
a reverse.
Yeah. It's going to get to the point where there's going to be no Bomberman vids ever.
When he's 42, that's the last video.
That's it. He's gone. That's it. But yeah, that was really interesting. I mean, it was. I guess it's kind of outside of our wheelhouse because like we don't like. No, I don't think any of us do that kind of content at all.
Yeah, important. Well, things that matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're in
it's a net
drain on society.
Yes.
But we're not like, I don't want to say not important, but we're not like putting out ideas out there, really, are we? Or if we do, it's accidental. But to see that there are companies just basically just ripping people off, ripping smaller creators off.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got that lesson learned really early in my life. Like when I was like 16 or 17, I started like technological design. And one of them was just like for one course we had to like design furniture for like 3 or 4 days or something. I just see like how a company would do it. 3 or 4 weeks. And then we tried to sell it to IKEA. Just like, hey, you want to buy our designs? We sent them the designs and like saw how that would work. We're like, nah, we have our own designers basically. And then the next season's catalog had like very similar designs, like really, really similar designs. And it's like, well, that's life, I guess. We didn't have an NDA on that one because we're 16 and our teacher didn't tell us we need an NDA. So
I'm getting H-bomb. I'm getting wrong. I've got a scoop for you.
I do. There was a company I used to work at. There was a woman that did the website, like the intranet sites. And what she'd do is she'd go and find other company websites that she liked, and she would strip out all of the code that she liked, and then she just basically copy it. And everyone thought she was fucking amazing. And it was mostly because she was just wholesale, just stealing
that is like
people's stuff.
Honestly, that is marketing, what you're describing there. Like at least like the companies I've worked at, because marketing's technically my background. Like Sir James Somerton, I'm a marketing expert.
Oh,
I might fuck. But no, like, and the mantra sort of was like you just like find stuff that works and then tweak it to your own. You do the tweak, which is it's fair enough, but I don't know. It just all becomes very soulless at some point. Like when I was watching the video, it did make me like look at some of the stuff that I do, because I've kind of like locked myself into this. The 2 uploads a week, which is fine. I can manage that. And I'm happy with like a lot of the stuff that goes out, but it did make me think that like I'd like to do some stuff that's a bit more like experimental and stuff that I'm, more deeply passionate about, because I do still love strategy games, but I'd still like to, do some other stuff as well. It's a really, really good video, and it's definitely worth watching if you are even remotely bothered about the integrity of art, which is what this is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Is this art?
I think content is art, but not all content is art, or something like that. Content can be art, but not all content will be art. Content is just content.
Yeah. There's several times when he says like something is the definition of content, and it just means like it's something. It is a thing that has been put out onto the internet and people watch it and it makes the person money, but it doesn't mean that it's something.
No, I mean the stuff I put out is shit.
Wait, we can always talk about better philosophical things like happiness. You guys want to talk about that?
No, I'd rather be depressed about how I contribute nothing to the online world.
Yeah, sorry,
Shamders, you do.
I think about weird shit all the time. Like happiness is something I've always been into like a loss like the last couple of weeks. Before that, it was like Epicureanism versus Stoicism and shit. Happiness is fun to think about.
Oh, I don't think about that much. I'm pretty happy. I was quite happy. I got patted on the back today for booting a dead rat into a bush. That was fun.
Fantastic.
I made dinner and it was edible. Oh, I made my bread. We forgot about my bread.
Oh, you did bread.
I made bread the other week. I sent you
a
picture. It was nice. I was very proud.
Did you send us a picture?
Yeah. What's the?
Oh shit! Yeah, no, of course you did. Yeah, sorry.
And I was like, please put like 2 loaves on like each side of your face and say you're inbred. That was like my contribution.
Yes, I remember that. You did the blue steel. Yeah.
What?
The blue steel from Zoolander. You had a little kissy face with your bread.
Oh yes.
I'm also going to add that but when I think about happiness and stuff like that, it's not good thoughts. It's just have to think about it because, well,
you just
I can't sleep.
You bottle everything up, and then you wake up at like 2 a.m. and have a panic attack. It's just how it is.
Yeah, exactly. Like a man.
Exactly. What I bottle up all my feelings and get so stressed and anxious that I die at 50 like a real man. Because that's my right.
Where I am right now is I get woken up by 5 o'clock by a small homunculi that apparently lives in my house going, need a poo.
Yeah.
Like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's 5 o'clock again, isn't it? It's at 5 on the dot. He's like regular as clockwork. 5 o'clock every fucking. Why 5 o'clock?
Can he not like be regular at like 8 a.m.?
I fucking would love that. Not 5. I don't need 5 o'clock. I don't need 5 o'clock in my life. I shouldn't be awake at 5 o'clock.
My homunculus just whines at me, and he's probably a lot more covered in hair, I imagine. But then you just put me in bed, and he's like, okay, well, I'll hold it for a little bit, I guess.
See, mine doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
He fucking tries it on. It'll come up at like 5 a.m. and like cry at me, and I'm like, no, too early. No. It has to be like post like 6:30, and then he's allowed in. Otherwise, it's just too much. Bastard. But we've got the bloody Christmas tree.
Doors, unfortunately.
Yeah, we got the bloody Christmas tree, and he did a piss under it within minutes, so that was great. So if anyone wants a dog, he's going cheap.
Well, a woof though.
Nice.
I think 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that is
a good time. We have gone through the entirety of the Games Awards. And with the entirety, I mean
the ones that
most of it.
To say anything about.
And we contributed to someone's day or something at least. So if you're still listening,
not those two guys that didn't like tangents. Fuck those guys.
Let me find their names. I'm going to call you out by name, motherfuckers.
But I hope we contribute to someone's day, and I think that's gonna be it for us. Hope you guys enjoyed.
All right, I'm gonna go spoil Spider-Man for Fred now, or Monster. Sorry.
Do it.
Right, goodbye, everybody.
Right.
Bye.
Goodbye.